This time, I got questions and updates. I got questions and I got updates. And apparently, this might be a long live stream anyway. So, nigga, you stood up earlier. What the Thank you. Now I gotta fix my damn. You know what? I have decided a long time ago that I'm done streaming on StreamYard. I said this a long time ago. Because no matter if you put it on 720, maybe I need it up. Maybe I need a laptop, or maybe it's because of X, Y. I don't know. Don't know.
They said, "Well, you better hope the rapture comes, bro." These niggas talking, "Oh, it's not in the Bible."
Or maybe my dumb ass did press the mute button.
Your translation is fucked up then.
Maybe my dumb ass pressed the mute button. Welcome to the live stream. This is Loc Nation here. Well, today was quite interesting. Around 4 o'clock, 1 o'clock y'all's time. This morning, the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran. U.S. and Israel attacked Iran. For what reasons? We obviously do not know. People have their own speculations. Cohen Gold or just dethroning their ambassador or whoever. Now the breaking news is that the ambassador or whoever from that country, sorry if I can't pronounce their name correctly, is allegedly dead. Allegedly. Donald Trump confirmed that this dude, let me get the right thing going here. Cause he's basically, I was like, wait a minute, you just started throwing bombs out. You just started throwing bombs and using drones, and all of a sudden he's dead. All of a sudden? Nah. Wars don't end that quickly. I mean, they can, but I don't know. I should have just called a couple of people. I should have just called a couple of people because I know a couple of people whose husbands and sons are in the military. I should have had to confirm it. Yeah, we need to confirm that, fam. We definitely need to confirm that. Absolutely.
In Iran?
Absolutely, because I don't trust nothing that these people say. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Especially Trump. I don't trust nothing Trump says. Nothing. Let me get this right. Well, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This is crazy. I do not trust anything that Trump says.
And it's called Epic Fury. The president tells the Iranian people now is the time to overthrow the regime.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Iran has retaliated, hitting many countries in the Gulf, including their residential buildings. This was the scene in Dubai tonight as a large hotel was struck. There are concerns for people living in
I don't want to go
and
to Dubai
visiting
now.
the whole area.
I don't want to go to
And this is
Dubai.
the scene live right now in Tel Aviv, which has continued to be hit by Iranian missiles tonight.
I don't know why.
We're here to tell you all we know about the situation and what it might mean after a momentous day for the Middle East and the world.
I don't know why. Skip all this bullshit.
Been killed on what is a dramatic day, with Israel and America launching a wave of airstrikes on targets right across Iran. Several sites were hit in what Donald Trump has described as a successful mission.
He always
The Iranians
describes
have,
as
however,
a successful
hit back
mission.
themselves
We're
with
gonna go
force
in and
right
it shouldn't
across
take
the
this
region.
long, and boom, boom, boom,
Plumes
boom,
of smoke
boom.
were seen in an area of Bahrain near the headquarters of the
I
US
need
Navy's
people
Fifth
to
Fleet.
think here.
An airbase in Doha was also hit, where there is a significant US military presence. And this missile was
I wonder how
captured
many.
on camera
I
over
wonder how many
Dubai
American
in the
lives
United
were
Arab
took today
Emirates.
because of this
Thousands, including
nonsense.
tourists,
I
have
wonder
been
how
caught
much.
up in the strikes.
How
We'll
many?
have full coverage and assess what the implications could be for the Middle East. But first, Jeremy Bowen, our international editor, has the very latest on what's been going on today.
This was Ayatollah Ali Khamenei at the tomb of his predecessor at the end of January. If Israel has killed him, as Donald Trump says, the Islamic regime in Iran will have taken a huge blow. One analyst called him the superglue keeping the system together. Israel and the US will hope that if he is dead, the regime will come unstuck. Benjamin Netanyahu said he was killed in a powerful strike on his compound in Tehran.
For 3.5 decades, this tyrant dispatched terrorism across the world, made his own people miserable, and worked constantly and tirelessly on a program to annihilate the state of Israel. That plan is there no longer, and there are many signs that this tyrant is also no longer.
I want it confirmed. I want it really confirmed. I don't want fake. I don't want what people call fake news. I want it confirmed. I want to see a bati. I want to see batis. But then again, when Obama did it, did he show the body of bin Laden? Just saying. It is strange too. Anything that Obama did, Trump wants to do better. He really has a thing for Obama. I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. Whenever a black man does something, and I'm not saying that he did anything, but my statement is, whenever Trump sees Obama doing great, whenever he sees Obama doing great, he thinks he can do it and do it 10 times better because of who he is. It's just jealousy and envy. It's just jealousy and envy on his part. But again, I want to see a body. I don't trust anything that Trump says. So he can miss me with that bullshit.
Satellite images show the destruction of the compound used by the supreme leader in Tehran. The Iranians say he was not there when it was attacked and told ABC News in America that he was safe and sound. The Americans believe that this time their raw power can impose regime change on an enemy without creating a disaster. The removal of Iraq's Saddam Hussein in 2003 led to a catastrophe. Long years of war that incubated jihadist extremist movements that still exist. The Americans released video of their targets. With Israel, they believe the economic and political weakness of the Islamic regime in Iran gives them an opportunity to strike that they have to take.
I remember his first term. He said something similar. He said something similar to this. So we got him. Where? We ain't see no body, but I forgot. I don't even want to go back that far.
Israel and the US went back to war with Iran just after breakfast time in Tehran, hitting the capital and sites across the country. It's hard to get information about what's happening there. Video of an attack on a school in southern Iran is circulating. Iranian state TV was reporting 85 killed. This is a dangerous moment with unpredictable consequences.
Oh, and by the way, stupid ass hit a school full of kids, and most of them were, I think it was a school full of girls, like 6, 7, 8-year-olds. 102 dead.
In the world's most turbulent region. Israel said the whole
Okay, fam. We might have to switch. I'm getting sick.
operation is a preemptive attack.
We might have to
Without producing evidence of an imminent threat. Sirens sounded immediately in Israel. War is political, and this is a war of choice aimed at changing the regime in Iran.
Ooh.
Iran tried to deliver on its threat of a devastating response aimed at the extensive network of US bases in the Gulf. This was Qatar, as well as Israel.
Get inside.
In Dubai, tourists looking for winter sun had a nasty reminder of the region's realities. Close by in Bahrain, this appears to be a strike aimed at the big US naval base. Iran says it will use and Israel's onslaught.
On his Truth social media site. And when he said that Ayatollah Khomeini had been killed, he described him as one of the most evil people in history, and then went on to say this is now the single greatest chance for Iranians to take back their country. And he's also been talking on the phone to a number of American journalists, describing the operation so far as a tremendous success, and saying he believes that quite a large proportion of the Iranian leadership have now been killed. The White House has released photos of President Trump monitoring operations in a specially constructed facility in Mar-a-Lago.
He just wants to so bad be Obama. It's just sickening. I'm starting to feel bad for him now. I'm starting to feel bad for Obama now that he has to endure this bullshit from Trump. If honestly, if I was Obama, I'm not president anymore. I would literally fight this dude. But again, he can't fight. Trump can't fight at all. He'll pay somebody to fight his best for him. Go ahead, get him. Well, we saw a public video that went around after the execution of Saddam. I don't know if it was real, but it is what we saw at the time. None of this shit is true. Because number one, they would literally go in and see a body. And they would go, confirm. It's confirmed. Drag the body out before America and let us see the face of this motherfucker. He just went, confirm. Nobody, no nothing. I don't believe in none of that shit. I don't believe in it. And it's frustrating to me because we Oh, this doesn't exclude him from the Epstein files. Oh no, because we're gonna talk about that one a little bit later. Word is some of the files are missing. Da, da, da. What, you think we forgot? You think capturing, or you just capturing ambassadors and presidents and governors and blah, 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 blah. That's crazy. Nothing pisses me off more than to see black guys with podcasts who support of Trump. Yeah. I don't understand it either. Fam, I don't understand it either. I really don't understand it. I mean, you killed, and this is on him. War crime, he's punishable on war crimes. He's fucking stupid. This and many other deaths are on him. Especially those girls who got killed today. 102 small little babies who got murked today because of his nonsense and his obedience to Israel. Man, fuck that dude, man. I don't give a fuck what country they from. They're dead and they're children. It's a casualties of war. And then I heard some shit today that made me go, what the fuck is going on? Yes, I have to do 2 streams. You know that. Due to, the shadow banning and everything. But I heard that you can do it on 1, 2, 3, 4, which I'm until I know the formula of it, I might be podcasting on IG and on Twitch, but I'm not paying for all that right now because I got bills to pay. But Obama said he was going to pay your rent. Okay, I guess we got goofies in the building. Cool. Where was I? Oh, yeah. He killed thousands and thousands of people. Most of them were just vacationing. And then you're going to hit, and I mean the jealousy. You're going to hit Dubai for what? You know what? When you hit Dubai, you know what I'm thinking? You know what I'm thinking when you hit Dubai? And Dubai is a beautiful country. Dubai is a wonderful country. I'm thinking of Burkina Faso. Because Burkina Faso, what I've heard and what I've seen, and this is nothing AI-ish, but what I've seen so far, oh boy, I might just have to get my passport immediately. Immediately get my passport and go to Burkina Faso and see what's up. And this is one of the reasons why they want this man gone. Abraham Traore. They want Abraham Traore gone too. And if they touch Abraham, oh my God. If they touch Abraham Traore, if they touch the Prince of Pan-African, if they touch this dude, oh my God. It's going to be some smoke in the U.S. because I'm not going to give a fuck. I want this man gone. Trump needs to go. He just needs to go. Impeach. I need some impeachments in the chat. I need some impeachments. This is cool. If they touch Abraham Traore, I swear.
Alongside him are the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and his Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. Vice President J.D. Vance is seen in the White House Situation Room in Washington.
A short time ago,
Donald Trump posted a video on social media at 2:30 in the morning to inform the American people he had launched a massive attack on Iran.
our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops.
What's so sad about it is when I heard it this morning, he don't even fucking know. Never met him, never. Well, let me backtrack. He might have met these people his first term and was shaking hands with them and kissing babies, and then now all of a sudden, they're bad people. Well, they didn't give you the money that you asked for. You didn't get the hump day girls, allegedly. And what about those files that are missing, Mr. President? What about those files of that little girl that was giving you some special attention and accidentally bit it down there, and she started like, and you smacked the shit out of her? What happened to those files? What happened to that? There's a lot of things that the FBI are looking into, Mr. Trump. You best be careful.
So our bases overseas and our allies throughout the world.
Pretty good. So thank you. Just hours earlier, he was campaigning in Texas in a hamburger joint, giving no hint of the planned assault.
I'm going to get some stuff for Air Force One, and I'm going to get the hell out of here, all right? Hamburgers for the whole place, okay? Yes, sir.
Not much later, he was describing how he plans to stop Iran developing a nuclear weapon.
We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
Last year, President Trump addressed thousands of American troops stationed in the Middle East, telling them his priority is to end conflicts, not start them. Now he's warning of casualties and fatalities.
The lives of courageous Americans.
If they know all this, if they know he flip-flopping back and forth, 1 minute, I'm a president of peace. And then the next minute, you're starting wars in Iran, you're starting wars in Nigeria, you're starting wars in fucking Venezuela. I don't, is that situation in Greenland still in effect? You want to start wars with Canada and Mexico? You gonna get us hurt, man. But white people all day calling on the broadcast podcast talking about, so what's wrong with him? What's wrong with raping children? Like, what? What the what? The devil is at work. The devil is at work. You can't normal people. I'm talking to the normal people, not the stupid people in the back. I'm talking to the normal people. Yeah, that's right. Get out of here. Get out of there. Get him out of there. I can't even read really. You can't tell me that what he is doing is right. You can't tell me that. Either this stream or that stream. You can't tell me that he is doing the right thing by American people just because he flashes a couple of dollars in your face. I'm going to flash a couple of dollars in your face and I'm going to kill your daughter. I'm going to flash a couple of dollars in your face and I'm going to kill your daughter. I'm going to clear your debt and I'm gonna kill your son. God bless America. That makes no fucking sense.
Heroes may be lost and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission.
Barb, you could have stayed over there.
When the US launched B-2 bombers to attack Iran last year, the action was limited to nuclear sites. Now he says the Iranian people have the chance to overthrow the ruling regime.
Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass.
Donald Trump has railed against previous American attempts at regime change in Iraq and Afghanistan. He is not planning to invade Iran. He hopes he can overthrow its leadership without putting American boots on the ground. Sarah Smith, BBC News, Washington.
Well, in the Iranian capital, Tehran, there's been loud cheers to celebrate the reported death of the country's supreme leader. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has been the figurehead of the Islamic Republic for more than 3 decades. 7 missiles hit the presidential palace, and there have been strikes around his compound. Baran Abbasi from the BBC's Persian service reports now on a warning it contains distressing images.
Cheers ringing out from residential buildings in Tehran after Israeli media reported the death of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Claims Tehran has dismissed as psychological warfare. News that, if confirmed, would be welcomed by many Iranians who suffered under his rule for nearly 4 decades. This is how the day began. Panic on the streets of Tehran around 9:40 a.m.
I'm thinking, and as I'm thinking, whenever the United States involves themselves into some bullshit, and you look at their countries, and their countries is just wonderful. Of course, you have to abide by the rules. It's the same thing as China, same thing in China, same thing in Iran, same thing in Japan, same thing. I mean, just and just all around beautiful. All around beautiful. What the fuck is wrong with us? What the fuck is wrong with America? Y'all ain't convinced, so I'll keep going. I mean, think, people, it ain't illegal. The United States, for years, has always involved themselves into some mess that they don't need to involve themselves in, just because they're a superpower. George Carlin, a comedian, may he rest in peace, warned us about this. A comedian warned us about this, how we love war so much because we can't do anything else right. Racism here in America, war in America, whether it be black versus white, white versus Mexican, black versus Mexican, anything, poverty, drugs, famine, rape, prostitution, trafficking, here in America. Why can't we deal with the shit here in America? But no, we got to go somewhere else and deal with that shit. This is the reason why Muhammad Ali refused to go get enlisted in the army. I'm like, he said, why the fuck I got to fight a war that ain't got nothing to do with me? They don't come to my city and stay fucking with me, so why do I gotta fuck with them? So they put him in jail. And I think it was either Frazier that bailed him out. It's either Frazier or somebody else bailed him out. I forgot. America can't war right either. Asian countries kicked it. We got our ass kicked the first time we fucked with Iran. But now all of a sudden, their leader over there is dead? Nah, fam. Nah. We gonna see how long this lasts. We are going to see how long this shit lasts.
A working day in Iran, when loud explosions were heard across the country.
War has started near our office down in Palestine Street. All the buildings were shaking. The streets are full of terrified people.
At the same time, a sense of relief for some. And at this school, teenagers celebrate. In early January, shocking pictures were shared with the world of thousands of people killed when government forces opened fire on protesters calling for regime change. The brutality left many believing only military intervention could topple the regime. But public sentiment could shift sharply if civilians are killed in the attacks. Many Iranians reacted with anger after state media reported that an Israeli strike on a girls' school killed dozens.
The first victims of this war are girls in Minab, hit by a missile attack. Is this the war you cheer for?
A mixture of emotions. For some, a fear that more violence is yet to come. For others, a sense that the regime's hold could finally be challenged. In a country scarred by months of protest and deadly crackdowns, uncertainty reigns. As the smoke clears, Iranians are left to face the consequences and to hope for a future beyond fear. Baran Abbasi, BBC News.
Meanwhile, Sir Keir Starmer says the UK wasn't involved in the strikes earlier today, but said British planes and forces were actively supporting their allies as part of the UK's...
Here's what first, let me read this. Where did it go? Right there. Billionaires are only players. They tell you to pick a side. Only billionaires do that. Well, everybody else is, well, not necessarily, because everybody else is saying, pick a side, pick a side, pick a side. I picked the side of common sense. That's what I picked. I picked the side of common sense. You can't tell me shit. Because last time I picked the side, I got fucked royally. Then pick you against one another. Yeah, we get all that. We definitely get all that, fam. This never happened under Joe. And this never happened under Obama either. But once Trump got in office, they saw an opportunity to say, look, this is a prime opportunity to voice who we are. So all these white, not all of them, not all these particular white people came out and said, we can say whatever we want to say and do whatever we want to do. If we want to touch our system, let me not go there. If we want to say the N-word, we can say the N-word now. God bless America. And then you got this bum Nick Fuentes. You got this bum Nick Fuentes going, and I don't know if he's flip-flopping or what. I don't know what he's doing. But now all of a sudden he's mad at Trump now. I don't know why. It just people pick and choose what the topic is for the no. If they want to go Republican, or they want to go Democrat. I mean, anything to make money, fam. Anything to make money. You know what? I might just stop talking about politics and go into flower gardening. See if I can make money off of that, because this ain't shit. Flower gardening. At least with flower gardening, I don't have to do the following. I don't have to hear the following. Number one, I don't have to hear how, even though he's destroyed thousands and thousands of people. Most of them are innocent people, including children. At least I won't have to hear he killed men, women, and children, innocents. But I got my tax refund, and my tax refund is right on point. I got extras from my tax refund, which is a damn lie. All of it is lies. Trump didn't do shit for America, but give it a fucking headache. And then you got these consumers, especially black ones, who listen, don't get violent. If you see them in the chat, I want you to throw up a middle finger at these consumers, at these coons. Just throw a middle finger up. No violence. Don't say nothing violent. I don't do none of that shit. But when you see these consumers with these mega hats, just do this, and that's it. No violence. I don't get it. That last comment was right on the money. I don't get why you have to be the one, because what if it were on us? What if the roles were reversed and a bomb hit school, a church, or a school full of little kids, or a wellness center? You'd be wanting to go to war on. You will be outraged. You will be totally outraged. You're minding your own fucking business. Just minding your own business, minding your own business. Dun. Boom. No warning, no nothing. Sticking your nose in something that has nothing to do with you. But because money in this, and by the way, you know how much money is wasted on this war? Billions. Because number one, you sent troops over there. That costs millions of dollars. Anywhere from 75 to 175, and I'm just calculating the shit. Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. And weapons, that costs money. Drones cost money. Bombs cost money. It's bad enough you want to send people onto American soil. Places like New York, LA, Baltimore, Portland. I think one was in Detroit. Then rumor has it that you want to send the ICE to Texas. So you're a warlord, huh? You're completely doing what the Khazars want you to do. He has literally got his mouth open, and the Khazars are just glazing his mouth, just glazing his mouth. Whatever happened to Trump from 2016 till now? What happened to Trump in 2016 when he got inaugurated in 2016? Whatever happened to that fucking Trump?
Commitment to the security of the Middle East.
Our forces are active, and British planes are in the sky today as part of coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests, and our allies.
What? Why are the British involved in this?
This evening, Sakia has been speaking to Donald Trump. Chris Mason is live in Downing Street for us. Do we have a readout, Chris, on what was said between the two leaders?
It was a pretty brief call, I hear, Clive, and certainly as far as folk here in Downing Street are concerned, they're remaining pretty tight-lipped about the specifics of what was discussed. Look, bluntly here, the UK, alongside France and Germany, are in a different place to the US and Israel. They have neither endorsed their actions.
Time out. Can anybody explain this to me like I'm a 4-year-old? Why is Britain involved? Can anybody explain to me? Longest reigning empire. Who do you think gives order? Order for what? I thought this was France not France. I thought this was Israel and America. Hold on, maybe I'm reading it wrong. United States and Israel have attacked such multiple locations across Iran, including capital Tehran, whatever, in what U.S. President Trump described as a major combat operation. Attack of blah, blah, blah. Nuclear waste. This has nothing to do with fucking. This is crap. You're beyond stupid and really embarrassing. It would be so bad if you weren't online, but you are. It's just embarrassing. No, your mom's embarrassing. Your mom's embarrassing it's very embarrassing for your mom to have you at that very moment. She should have swallowed your ass. Now, let me see. UK is very close with our allies, and wait, I thought we were blasting our allies. Not good. What is Greenland? Who is Greenland connected with? I forgot. Oh, politics. I hate it. Who are they connected to? NATO. I thought NATO was our ally. You're right. You're right. Now that I know. Okay, cool. I thought fucking NATO was our ally. Denmark, yes. But you're in Greenland, which is connected to NATO, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, please tell me. But then you want to invade over there, which doesn't make any sense. And then you want to change the name. He always wants to change the names. First is the NFL. He wants to change the NFL to the AFL. And then he changed New Mexico to America, New Mexico. And then, quote unquote, yes, I did find out that Burkina Faso and I think it was Ghana, or no, it was Burkina Faso. They all made deals for this health aid shit, which you got to read the fine print into that, fam. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. But you got to read the fine print into that when they actually signed that 5-year deal. You got to read into it, not internally, not externally. A lot of these dudes, they just go in there and say, I thought we need to be isolated. That doesn't work. Obviously, you're not a war expert. You know what I mean? You're not a war expert. You don't know shit about war and how it works. People need to read The Art of War by Sanzun, whatever. All right, halfway into and I stop. So I gotta reread it again. You gotta read The Art of War. You got to read The Art of War and how things work. People are like, I don't like when Burkina Faso getting in all these deals with America. Well, hey, this is called chess, not checkers. And I'm gonna, but what they were what they were giving them, $100 million don't mean shit to them. Don't mean shit. But you gotta read into it, fam, not at it.
Nor were they involved in any way. The Prime Minister emphasising, as you heard there, that yes, British planes have been in the sky in the region in a defensive capability, and he emphasises within international law, so protecting allies. And yes, the Prime Minister has condemned in strong terms Iran generally and the retaliatory action from Iran today. As far as the political reaction domestically is concerned, broadly splits on right-left lines. The Conservatives and Reform UK suggesting the UK should be much more supportive of America. The likes of the Scottish National Party and the Liberal Democrats very sceptical of this action. One final word tonight about the practicalities, Clive, for Britons in the region. The Foreign Office setting up what it calls its Register Your Presence system for British nationals in the region. So the government here knows where Britons are and can keep in touch with them.
Chris, thank you for that. Chris Mason, our political editor there in Downing Street. Well, the strikes on Iran follow months of tension in the region since the start.
This is fucking nuts. This is nuts. This is nuts. Are they still going at it? Also the Jihad. Hold on 1 second. I might have to. I forgot. You know what? I forgot you were military. Silly me. Silly me. I'm wrong. I'm dumb. I knew you were military. What the fuck is going on? Is anything? Oh, no. Give me a second. 45 minutes. Dead.
After a lifetime of Hosseini struggle, unceasing and untiring, with a lofty and celestial spirit like the steadfast mountain of the Islamic guardianship, the compassionate father of kindness and resolve, the leader and imam of the Muslims, His Eminence Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Hosseini Khamenei, on the path of upholding the exaltation of the sacred sanctuary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, after a lifetime of Hosseini struggle, unceasing and untiring, with a lofty and celestial spirit like the steadfast mountain of the Islamic guardianship, the compassionate father of kindness and resolve, the leader and imam of the Muslims, His Eminence Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Hosseini Khamenei, on the path of upholding the exaltation of the sacred sanctuary of the Islamic Republic of Iran, drank the sweet, pure draught of martyrdom and joined the supreme heavenly kingdom.
He gonna cry in the car. He is going to cry in the car.
We are getting information from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah is dead. This is breaking news again coming from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, is dead. Again, We're going to go to Jeremy Diamond. Jeremy, the strikes coming this morning that were targeting senior leadership. That's what we knew. Targeting senior leadership there in Iran. And now we can say from Israeli sources that the Ayatollah of Iran, the supreme leader, is dead. What more are you learning there in Israel?
That's right, Jessica. Two Israeli sources telling me and my colleague Tal Shalev that Israel has confirmed that the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been killed as a result of those Israeli strikes that took place earlier today. One of these sources saying that Israel actually has photographic evidence of Khamenei showing his dead body.
Where?
The second source told me that an official announcement is in the works, although it is possible that the Israelis will allow President Trump and the United States to make this announcement officially. But this is enormous breaking news here that the Israeli government is confirming that the supreme leader of Iran was killed in Israeli strikes earlier today. This is a day that many Israeli government officials have hoped would come eventually. It is also, we should note, a day that many...
And it's not going to make a difference because these people, if they wanted to, they can retaliate. They can retaliate. And can I be frank? I mean, the guy looks 90 years old, past his prime. I mean, no disrespect to that side, because that motherfuckers like that didn't do anything to me. But in all fairness, he looks like he just needs to sit his ass down somewhere. But he ended up getting got. I guess. I don't know. We don't know because we haven't seen the body yet. So it's like, and then you're going to put another person in that position. Do you think that that particular person that is going to be in that seat is going to listen, quite frankly, to what Trump and this administration has to say? Are you kidding me? When Kim Jong-un's father died, do you think Kim Jong-un listened to the United States and what they had to say? Do you really think that they were ballsy enough to tell this young kid, this young emperor, to listen to what we have to say and go by our instructions? They probably already had it planned. Bullshit. I want to see a body. I want to see a body, and I want to see the person who's going to be in charge next. If this is really a thing, because again, we haven't seen anything yet. Well, I'm still researching. I'm still doing my research.
The Iranian dissidents, Iranian protesters had hoped would eventually come. And indeed, it has come now. And it is an earth-shattering moment for the Middle East and for the future of Iran. We should note, however, that the supreme leader's death is not necessarily indicative of the Iran regime collapsing altogether. This regime is not based off of one person alone. It is a system that is multi-layered. And we know that the supreme leader understood very well that he could potentially be targeted for assassination should the United States and Israel choose to carry out massive strikes on Iran as they did today. And in recent weeks and months, he has been preparing for potential lines of succession should that actually take place. Now, we are still waiting, of course, for any confirmation from the United States.
I want everybody to give It's Time for Street Justice two thumbs up, because she put it right on the money. There will never be peace in the Middle East. You know why? And I don't know why we're involved. well, quite frankly, you got everybody fighting everybody off of resources. Resources, not money, because money doesn't mean anything anymore. Gold, yes. Silver, yes. Bronze, yes. Pieces of paper, they don't want to deal with that shit no more. They'd rather give it to the US. Ain't gonna be no fucking peace. And they don't want us to have peace. But they know not to mess with us. But why are we going over there is my question. Because Donald Trump owes these people. He owes these people. He took the oath. Just like Pam Bundy took the oath. Kash Patel took the oath. Why are we being, No, I can't beat Lucas today. Lucas is crashing out over some shit I don't know. Because quite frankly, they're reviewing the same thing I'm reviewing. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank everybody for being with my dumb ass tonight. This is a part 2 of Are You Stupid or Are You Slow? Apparently, he's both. And what he didn't get nothing out of this war. Absolutely nothing. You know what he got? 100 dead kids. 100 dead children. That's what he got out of it. That's what he got out of it. Trump doesn't own anyone. You stupid. You are definitely stupid. And you don't live in Vegas. I do. And I don't want to call them old heads, but the elders around here knows that he owes money. He owes money. Fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with people? This is the reason why I say those who know Trump best know him. How much of a thief he really is. But he does it the smart way. What the fuck I'm gonna believe a convicted felon for? A liar, a cheat, a molester, all these particular things. But the thing about it is, you can't touch the guy because he's so powerful and so resourceful. He's damn near just as better as his old man Fred. Fred! Is Fred still alive? Let me see. Let me stop this right here. Let's just get into the meat and potatoes. First of all, he's no president to me. Second, he's been in Las Vegas before. Thirdly, again, the dealings of old heads and I should say, certain individuals that will be named nameless on this live stream. Let's just say he's made bogus deals with people that he owes, and certain people that he owes are pissed off at him right now, but they can't do nothing to him because of the simple fact he has immunity. The only time he ever came here, and he hasn't been here in Vegas in quite a while, he doesn't even own the building that says Trump. He hasn't been here in a while, but the last time he was here was the shooting in, I think it was 2016 or 2017. I really don't know. The Mandalay Bay massacre, where there was a man that just went berserk, went up to the 32nd floor or the 31st floor and started spraying people that were doing like a country music concert. Are you saying you know Mr. Trump? I have my resources. I'm not saying I know the man. I don't know his family. I don't know what size drawers he wears. I really don't know, and I really don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you the TikTok. If you can't take it, then I don't know what to tell you, fam. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. And you used to party on this island. You stupid. Yep. You dealing with stupid people. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was hoping it was just gonna come on by itself. Shit. I hope it was just gonna come on by itself. Let me see. Okay.
Was wherever the negotiations were being held, they attacked him again. America attacked him again. Look, you can't trust these motherfuckers for nothing. That's even worse. That says you can't trust America to deal on the up and up at any point in time. You wasn't hanging from their balls like a co-op.
1983 Iran's proxy.
However, they hold no power over me. Because shout out to motherfucker, fuck you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can let him talk. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to get some steam off. He's talking. That's it. So again, death to America for 47 years. We got to get him. They said it for 47 years. Then he went back to 1943 talking about some attack in 1983. Okay, if you're going back that far, then go back to the USS Liberty attack from Khazaria that killed hundreds of people. That they knew it was an American ship. They flew an American flag. They even called it in. And Khazaria still continued to attack the ship. So you want to be pulling up this shit from 47 years ago and all that type of shit, then pull that up.
So what it is he's using old laws to say this worked back then in 1983. It can work now in 2026. He's just pulling shit out of his ass. Just pulling old shit out of his ass. He did the exact same thing with the tariffs when the Supreme Court shut him down. It's like you can do this, but you can't collect this, and that. And he said, effective immediately, that the tariffs are still in effect, but we're going to use 15% instead of 10% this time. Yeah, tariffs, Venezuela, and now Iran. I'm telling you, he owes the Khazarian too much. If they wanted to, they can shut his ass down and incriminate him for being he's already in the files, but then there are files missing, quote unquote.
Because Khazaria has killed more Americans than Iran has. That's a fact. Period.
Let me see what
Iran only messes with America when America's in their region. If you're not over there in their region, you wouldn't be messed with. Just like if somebody was in your region, in your home, you're gonna be hostile towards them because they're in your house. So the fact that they keep talking about they're the most hostile people towards America, they wouldn't be hostile if you get out their backyard, if you get out their damn house. Get the fuck out. Then that's how that works.
shed and mass murder targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel.
So not Iran, he says Iran proxies. So he still can't point to anything that Iran has done. He keep talking about people that Iran hired. You mean like America be hiring people to do shit around the world? So if you're going to attack them for that, then you got to attack yourself. You got more proxies committing atrocities around the world, destabilizing governments around the world than anybody else. So who the hell are you to be talking about Iran using proxies? He just coming up with bullshit. There's no reason for America to go to war with Iran right now. Not one. And he coming up with shit from 47 years ago. Are you fucking crazy, dude?
In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monster.
Iran has done nothing like that. Iran's major enemy has been Saudi Arabia and it was Iraq. And so their main enemies have been other Muslim countries, for the most part, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and New Khazaria. That's their enemies. If you wasn't tied to New Khazaria's balls so tight, you wasn't like a koala bear, you wasn't hanging from their balls like a koala bear, then America wouldn't give a goddamn about America. But because you're trying to protect Khazaria, then that's why you getting hit by strays, because you keep involving yourself in somebody else's business. So this is fuck shit. You keep talking about them. They did this, they did that, they did this. They're not coming after America. Not at all, not in the slightest. They're not coming after America. Only when America busts their nose in their business. When Khazaria tries to ramp up stuff, or tries to ramp up wars and strikes against them, and they want to retaliate, they can't really retaliate because America's in the way. So that's the only time that there's any animosity with America, is when you step in the way like Debo for Khazaria.
October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, and just recently killed tens of thousands of its own citizens on the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again, they can never have a nuclear weapon. That is why in Operation Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. After that attack, we warned them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons, and we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. They didn't know what.
They agreed to 99% of what America put forward, which is crazy. If you come to me and try to tell me how to run my damn house and I'm not doing nothing to you, and tell me you need to make a deal or I'm gonna blow your house up, I'm gonna tell you to kick rocks, EAD, all of that. You don't get to come to me and tell me how to run my house. You lost your fucking mind. But Iran entertained it. All right, yeah, we'll make a deal with you. We'll let you in. To monitor what we're doing with the uranium. And that was the first. We're talking about the first time they were doing that. We'll only enrich uranium to 30%. They was doing all of that. And Trump, he nixed the deal. That was Obama, because Obama made the deal. So he nixed the deal and wouldn't do the deal again. So they was like, all right, well, if you're not going to redo the deal, then we'll go to 60%. Going to 60% was to bring them back to the table. To a deal again. Because Iran doesn't really want a damn bomb. That's against their religion. They ain't about blowing motherfuckers up, a bunch of people up. That's against their religion. So they, Khazaria and America keeps using this as an excuse, knowing that that's against their religion. They're not about that. They wouldn't do that. And they repeatedly state that we don't do that. And they've never tried. They've named somebody that they've killed like in mass amount, like a mass killing where they've blown up hundreds of people. They haven't done that. They've only done that or fighting against New Khazaria. So they know, America knows that Iran doesn't want anything, any animosity or any war with America. So they agreed to 99%. The only thing they said that they wouldn't do is cut out their uranium program altogether, completely. And America knew that was a poison pill, meaning they knew if we offered that, they knew Iran was gonna turn it down, and that they would have to go to war because of it. They didn't want no peace with Iran, and they did the same thing. The first time they were negotiating with Iran, they attacked them during negotiations. So the same thing right now, as they were negotiating, meaning the Iranian negotiator was over here, was wherever the negotiations were being held. They attacked him again. America attacked him again. Look, you can't trust these motherfuckers for nothing. That's even worse. That says you can't trust America to deal on the up and up at any point in time. You have to watch them consistently. Anything they tell you, you know it's bullshit, and that's bad. When you're
it's been happening for years on end. This is why you have to look carefully, and I'm gonna be eyeballing this. I'm gonna be using my third eye when it comes to Burkina Faso. I'm gonna be eyeballing the shit out of that, because again, they made some type of 5-year deal for whatever the case may be, or something about healthcare, wanting to improve healthcare and all this other stuff. But the positive side to this is West Africa is building outright, building infrastructure all over. That's why they don't want people coming in. They don't want people coming in there, right?
Reputation is like that, where no one trusts you around the world. This is the reputation that Trump has given America now. If we try to negotiate with you with peace, or for peace, we're going to kill you, and we're going to kill you in the process. We might try to kill you while we're negotiating with you. Just be on the lookout.
What was happening? They just wanted to practice evil, but Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our troops stationed overseas, and could soon reach the American homeland. Just imagine how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests.
I have a question. Explain this to me. Explain this to me like I'm a 4-year-old. Did anybody in Iran bother anyone in the United States before? Did anybody bother anyone? No? Let me know, because I don't know shit about Iran. But did Iran fuck with anybody in the United States? Please let me know.
We're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their nation.
Wait a minute. How are you going to obliterate something again? If it was obliterated the first time, shouldn't it still be obliterated? Obliterated means destroyed out of existence.
Bob,
it does not exist anymore. And then look what he said. We've been dealing with them for decades.
I know what you're trying to do.
We've been dealing with them for decades.
I know what you're trying to do.
So if you've been dealing with them for decades and they still haven't gotten to the point where they were able to get a bomb, decades. It's taking them decades, and they still don't have a bomb. Then last year you went and obliterated their program that they did have. Whatever they were working on, you went and obliterated that. So why would you have to go back in now? If it took them decades to reach the point where they were when you just bombed them and obliterated the remaining program, how the fuck were they able to come up with a whole new program in just 8 months? If it took them decades before, and then you obliterated that.
I need a source.
He just saying dumb shit that idiots will just listen to this and not and that'll flow right over the top of a dumb motherfucker's head. That he said we've been dealing with them for decades. They still don't have a bomb after decades. Then we took that program out, but that's not enough because in 8 months they revamped everything. That it took them decades to get to that point. They revamped everything in 8 months. Come on, man. This is such bullshit. This boy he destroyed his whole presidency. He's an idiot.
Navy, we're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack.
Yo, Broderick Enoch, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app.
Nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon. This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, I do not make this statement lightly. The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties.
Look at that. He just told you, you're going to go and die for Khazaria. He just told Americans, you're about to go die for new Khazaria. There can be nothing good that comes out of this war. If they go and they beat Iran, SR's America,
nothing good has came out of this world. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But some people, mostly white folks, let's keep it a bean, it's going to eat this up like no tomorrow's. Like, we want to get rid. As a matter of fact, let me see. Like I said, I heard some shit today. It just made me go, these people, whew. All right, I ain't gonna do that. Nah, I'm not doing that. I might not do any more FBA shit forever because I'm just gonna let them grow out of their own delusions of grandeur shit. I'm not even doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. It's just stupid. What have you? We've won. What have you won? What have you won? What was I looking for? Oh, it's right here. Did I pass it? Nope. Hold on.
Hello and welcome in. I'm asking you a question. Give me any evidence that Iran enriched uranium when the JCPOA was in place. The level of uranium enrichment isn't unsafe. That's like the level of uranium enrichment that's required to build exports.
I was scared. Yeah, I swiped out of the app. Scared. That's why we lost Nam.
What we did in many other countries as well, Yemen, Syria, so on. Even if it was, it wouldn't matter because they're children.
You don't know that. You don't know for sure. You don't know for sure.
I mean, I think it gets.
But anyway, this is Iran. This is going on now. When it has these, their
regime change, that their supreme leader's dead. Yeah, dictator who's murdering their citizens. But then over the course of the next 20 years, over 1 million Iraqis and Afghanis died in what became the Forever War. I mean, it is just such like an instrumental part of modern American history that this isn't even a partisan issue. This is a tweet from Charlie Kirk last
that's
July.
a good memory, but we
Can I read
about
something real
Iran
quick?
right now.
This is a tweet from Charlie Kirk last July. Quote unquote, this is insane. Regime change will result in a bloody civil war, killing hundreds of thousands of and creating another massive Muslim refugee crisis. Topping a leader is never as easy as you think. It almost always results in further involvement in civil war and chaos. Resist this.
Well, it was easy in Venezuela. It's doing good in Venezuela, so I would imagine it should go pretty good in Iran. They were well warned ahead of time. Somebody must be doing something to take over. But anyway, Donald Trump is doing great.
Well,
Got rid of
exactly.
tyrant.
It's like you just attempted to appeal to like history as it would relate to Venezuela, okay, in an attempt to justify that because of what has historically happened, that therefore we know the outcome in Iran's.
Are you glad these tyrants are gone? Are you glad these tyrants are gone?
They're not gone. Can I
glad
please
they're
finish
gone?
speaking?
The tyrants that are on the lives. Are you glad?
Oh, their supreme leader's dead? Yeah, I'm fucking happy he's dead, but I'm not happy with the operation that made him dead.
Well, you should be happy with Trump then.
Okay, but I want to explain to you why that's not the case. In fact, I was just attempting to make an argument, but you cut me off midway through.
Well, that's okay. You cut me off all the time, so we kind of even.
Okay, all right, we're even. Now moving forward, can we agree to not interrupt one another?
If you promise not to.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The arrogance. He must be South Africaner. No. 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 What movie was that? If y'all can guess what movie that was, I'll give you a nickel. No, 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 no. Nah, he's probably from Alabama or some shit. But the arrogance of these people is just crazy. It's called Get Out. You didn't see Get Out? When he was in the sunken place and he kept falling. He was paralyzed, he kept falling. I can't believe you didn't see that movie.
Thank you. So you just attempted to like appeal to something that has happened in history in an attempt to justify that what is going to happen and what is happening in Iran will be successful by appealing to Venezuela. Now, I want to point out here that there are major differences between Venezuela and Iran, okay? The military power of Iran and their proxies are significantly larger than the military power of Venezuela, not to mention that clearly, okay, our history with attempted regime change and war in Iraq and Afghanistan are going to be significantly closer in proximity to Iran than what we did to Maduro in Venezuela. And when we look at what happened in Iran and Afghanistan, I've already described this to you, it resulted in over 1 million dead Iraqis and Afghanistanis, or what we did in Libya,
Dennis, is there like, which would, you know what? I'll do it. Fuck it. Is there any like books or anything I can like study about these things and stuff like that? Just wanted to know. Study what I need to know. It's not like I want to know it, but then I don't want to know it because war is a money maker. They say war is built on nutrition and all this other shit, but I don't know. This is just ridiculous and is getting more each day. How old are you? If I may ask respectfully, how old are you?
what we did in many other countries as well, Yemen, Syria, so on and so forth. It is very typically a mission in which proves to be unsuccessful via the creation of destabilization in the area. Not to mention that it's actually American involvement that gave way to the lead of the current Islamic regime that we see governing over Iran, starting with the CIA coup of their legitimate leader in the 50s or 60s.
You, Dennis. I didn't ask your age, but then again, you're 2 years older than me. I was asking, it's time for street justice. I was asking her for her age because of her comment. And I was going to say, if she's younger than me, then I'm saying, well, you haven't seen shit yet. That's what I was going to say. She hasn't seen shit yet. This is beyond Revelations at this point. Beyond. And it's never going to go away because people want to see things changed, especially with all this AI. For example, have you ever seen all these AI things come full circle yet? Like all these drones. You can get a drone at Best Buy. Come on now. But to the AI shit, these AI, your movies are going to be AI now. If they improve this stuff, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Why are we going to innocent the people out the war when we don't have to? We'll just use drones all day. But guess what? China comes out with their drone. Russia comes out with their drone. And let's just say we have enough fuel to go all the way to the United States and boom! Now who's got the weaponry? They all got you got a weapon, I got a weapon, you got a weapon, I got a weapon, you got a weapon, he got a weapon, he got a weapon, she got a weapon, everybody got a weapon. And who came up with this crazy idea of putting a force field on the United States? How are we gonna do that? I think Elon Musk said this shit. They come up with these crazy ideas of building a force field so rockets can't come into the United States. It's the same crazy idea that they're gonna build something that can go a foreign base can go outside the peninsula up in the atmosphere somewhere, or build a rocket ship to go to fucking Mars. Boy, these people here, boy, we're gonna build a rocket ship to go to Mars and live in Mars. The Golden there we go, the Golden Dome. If these people don't sit their asses down somewhere, I know they want to get away from black people. I know they do. I know they fucking do. They want to get away from black people. They can't stand black and brown people. They can't stand it. Some of these people are fake. Asians aren't fake. They are for real. At least they tell you up front, I don't like you. I don't like you either. White people go, they do Jerry Jones style. Jerry Jones from the owners of Dallas, the owner and GM for the Dallas Cowboys, which I hope they choke again next season. But anyway, he goes and shake the hand. It's like, hey, how you doing? You're going to have a fine, nice time here in Fort Worth, Texas. Yes. you're gonna have fun. Oh, and speaking of Texas,
Well, you see, in Venezuela, they were unaliving U.S. citizens with all the poison they were sending us, and Iran has these. Well, they were about to build these boomers that could take out a lot of lives too, and that's what Donald Trump is going to do. That's what he's doing, preventing unaliving innocent people, whether it's worldwide or
we just killed it today.
Well, you just interrupted me. You went on for long.
My bad.
Yeah, but anyway, saving lives and more lives in Israel, because these people unalived a bunch of young people not long ago. And I find that the leftists are more, they're more aggravated with going on now than when the Israelis lost a lot of young people. I don't understand you leftists how you pull for our enemies all the time. Why is that?
Dude, okay, listen, it's not pulling for our enemies, okay? It is pulling against history. And I've already described that to you, and you've completely ignored it. You were just literally repeating the same argument.
Happened already. We're talking about
you were literally repeating the same argument that we heard for Iraq. You were literally repeating the same argument that we heard from Iraq. 110% to a T. Okay? Not to mention that once again, you're telling us...
Iraq.
God, okay. You just can't even let me speak.
Well, you go too long.
I spoke for maybe 30 seconds.
Well, when I went 20 seconds, you interrupted me.
Okay, all right, and I apologize.
In my mind. But anyway, this is Iran. This is going on now. We're not talking about the past. With Afghanistan,
you've already
Iraq,
agreed. You've already agreed that the past can inform us about the future. In fact, you literally tried to make an argument out of the past by appealing.
Right, it can.
What happened in Venezuela.
It can, because these people lie all the time. Our enemies, whether it be Afghanistan or Iraq, they lie all the time. Iran has been lying since 50 years or longer. They've been lying to us, unaliving people. It's time to get rid of these people. We have to get rid of them, just like what Donald Trump's doing.
How did that go with Saddam Hussein?
I don't care about Saddam Hussein. We're talking about this idiot right now. We got rid of him.
Yeah. The reason why you should care about Saddam Hussein is because it was the same argument.
That's in the past. We're talking about right now.
What gave you the right to appeal to the past, i.e. what happened in Venezuela, to say what's happening right now would go smoothly and successfully?
Because this was recent. Venezuela was recent.
Okay.
Venezuela's recent.
Okay, so it kind of just sounds like you're placing these arbitrary guidelines on what events from the past we can talk about and what events from the past we can't talk about.
More recent.
Also, you brought up that they killed a bunch of children. Do you know in one of our strikes on Iran, not even 24 hours ago, we hit a girls' elementary school and killed upwards of 80 children?
Right. Was this school a training school for terrorcrats? Training was it one of those schools?
Okay, even if it was, it wouldn't matter because they're elementary school children, but it wasn't.
No, it does matter.
I want to clarify here. I want to clarify here. It wasn't, but even if it was, it wouldn't matter because they're children.
You don't know that. You don't know for sure. You don't know for sure.
I think I could say with a lot of confidence that it wasn't, but it wouldn't matter if it was.
Okay, but you don't know for sure.
Okay, I don't mind for the intents and purposes of this debate granting that to you because I don't think it matters. We shouldn't kill children.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm like you. I wish it would have happened to a bunch of young girls.
Wait. Can you agree that we shouldn't kill children?
We shouldn't kill innocent children.
No. Can you just say we shouldn't kill children?
No, I'm not going to say that. What if this child has the trigger to shoot a bomb somewhere else? What would you do if he was fixing to? If this children was starting to unalive a bunch of people, would you do something with that child first before you unalive?
Literally, I would do every single thing in my fucking power, even if slightly irrational, to prevent that child from killing a bunch of people before I killed the child. And then if I did kill the child, I would still be saying that we shouldn't kill children, and this was fucking devastating. It's fucking devastating.
Yeah,
but no way you're going to sit here and literally demonize the 80 little girls, elementary school age, that were sitting in school and learning, saying that they were all going to so we need to kill them now. They were 7 years old. 80 kids dead. You don't even blink an eye. You don't care. See, this isn't about spreading democracy or reaching into the farthest lengths of the world to bring us together and build a global coalition through alliances. And you're not a Trump supporter, I will quickly be banning you. It is sick, it is depraved, it is disgusting. And he left. And I understand exactly why he left. Because that was sick, depraved, and disgusting. Let's go to get that next worlds were terrorists that are about a bunch of kill a bunch of people.
There's no evidence either way. No evidence either way.
Okay, well, if we don't have evidence either way, then we obviously can't assume that they are terrorists.
I want you to continue to listen. And a lot of these people say that black people's IQ is very, very low. I just want you to listen, and I want you to see. I want you to soak in. I want you to soak in real good how stupid some of these people are. And look, when I say the word stupid, I mean, he knows what's right and wrong, but he just won't come out with it because apparently he's on that lower extremity of the brain, which is fight or flight syndrome. Get them up and get them up out of there. I don't care, and I don't care if they're children or not. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So you don't care if this child is 6 years old. They're gonna use them, they're gonna strap bombs on them, and they're gonna send them. Why would they do that? That's Dean. Yep, that's Dean.
And kill them.
No, but we can go both ways with that.
No, we can't go both ways with that. Are you kidding me?
I can't.
Wait, do you have a child?
Yes, I do have a child, and I'm very protective.
One moment. Do I, in the moment of, right now, do I have any evidence that they're not a terrorist?
No, except that they're in the enemy country.
Okay, one moment. Do I have any evidence that they are a terrorist?
You can by these. Iran has.
No, one moment. Stop talking. Do I have any evidence? Stop talking. Do I have any evidence that your child is a terrorist?
Yes.
Why would you say that?
No, I'm talking about you as a leftist. You use any excuse to terrorize anybody.
Okay, I don't think that you're hearing
my children.
You see how he flipped that around? You see how he flipped that? You see how he flipped that shit? God damn it.
Were terrorists that are about a bunch of kill a bunch of people.
There's no evidence either way. No evidence either way.
Okay, well, if we don't have evidence either way, then we obviously can't assume that they are terrorists and kill them.
Flip that?
No, but we can go both ways with that.
No, we can't go both ways with that. Are you kidding me?
I can't.
Wait, do you have a child?
Yes, I do have a child, and I'm very protective.
One moment. Do I, in the moment of, right now, do I have any evidence that they're not a terrorist?
No, except that they're in the enemy country.
Okay, one moment. Do I have any evidence that they are a terrorist?
You can by these. Iran has.
No, one moment. Stop talking. Do I have any evidence? Stop talking. Do I have any evidence that your child is a terrorist?
Yes.
Why would you say that?
No, I'm talking about you as a leftist. You use any excuse to terrorize anybody.
Okay, I don't think that you're hearing
my children are not. My children are not. They are not terrorists.
Okay, so I don't have any evidence that your child is a terrorist. You affirm that. No. And I don't have any evidence that your child is not a terrorist. You affirm that. So because I don't have any evidence that your child is either a terrorist or not a terrorist, in accordance with your logic, I would be justified in killing your child, right?
No, you see, you're wrong because they're not in the terrorist country.
Wait, so if you were on vacation with your child, if you were on vacation with your child in Iran, I'd be justified in killing your child?
No.
Also, I think that you need. I think that you need to consider.
You don't let me speak.
I also think that you need to reconsider who the terrorists truly are. If you're saying that we have the right to kill any and all children in countries in the Middle East.
See, you're wrong. You're wrong. You keep cutting me off.
I mean, just listen to what you're saying, man. You're labeling countries as terroristic, and then you're saying
we are not in a terrorist
one moment. You're labeling countries as terroristic,
Technically, we
and then
are.
you're saying that we have the God-given right to kill.
Technically, we are. Technically, we are a terrorist country. You know how I know? We have federal not state, federal armed soldiers that can come in your house anytime they want. No warrant, no nothing. They can just come on in. Thanks to this president. So yes, we are a terrorist country. Sorry, not sorry.
Kill and slaughter absolutely any child in any country that we deem as terroristic. Next question. Are you a Christian?
Hold on. Here you go. Here you go, Street Justice. Here you go.
That's what you just said. Are you a Christian?
Okay, no, that's none of your business if I'm a Christian or not.
So that's a yes. So you as a Christian are
That's none of your
saying
business.
that just because a child is in Iran,
There you
we
go.
can literally send them to heaven.
If they're being trained to be a terrorist, I have no problem with unaliving them. If they're being
Even
trained,
if they're being trained
I
for the
have no
terrorists,
problem.
you should have a problem with killing them. You're insane because it's not their fault.
And unless you're unalive, you or your family,
One
then we should
second.
have done it
No,
before,
you
right?
didn't say
Unless it
they
comes
have
with your
their.
family.
You didn't say they have their finger on the trigger, and now we have to like hop into a super complex moral dilemma of what do we do when children are being used as active agents of death, okay, by terrorists. That's a whole other conversation. No, you said being trained to be a terrorist. Like they're 7 years old, they're going to school. First and foremost, you can't be serious. You can't just basically assume that all schools in Iran, okay, are training the children to be
I didn't
terrorists.
say that.
Especially considering the fact that they were girls, okay, especially considering the fact that they're
Yeah, I didn't
girls,
say that.
okay, Iran.
And by the way, they will not use a female over on that side. Can you number any female who has joined their military over there? They will not allow it. Why do you think, for example, in certain cultures, they just want sons and not daughters? Because they believe they're for other purposes like cooking and cleaning and stuff like that. And abusing. Why do you think they want sons? So they can put them in their fucking military or become emperor or shit like that. Here in America, you're free to do whatever the hell you want. Man, woman, or dog. But yet the abuse, the moral abuse and the physical abuse, they all come hand in hand. Ain't no different from over there. Peace. Peace. The only time you can never have peace is if you're hitting the lottery and you drive 10,000 miles away from everybody. That's the only, and build your own, and buy your own land and build your own infrastructure from over there. That's the only one time you're going to have peace. Or if you just stay in the house all day. If you just stay in the house all day and just keep to yourself. Other than that, if you go out into the real world, this is what you would expect. I wish it wouldn't happen that way, but ignorance is everywhere. Ignorance. Just Example, just like this caller, ignorant. Just plain ignorant. This is the reasons. This is the reason why a lot of countries see the U.S. as the enemy of the world. Yeah, but they see that the United States is the enemy for the simple fact that their structure and how they run things are not in alignment. But yet you get people that don't have a choice in the matter to follow what, like, for example, China has to offer, and they just but the rest of them, they flee to other countries. They flee to Africa. They flee to Germany. They flee to the United States because they just want to be free. They want to free. They don't want to align with their own. They just don't. And I get it. I perfectly get it. And some of them keep to them. When they come here to the United States, the first thing they do, get a job, keep to themselves. That's it. Grab their mail, grab their cheese sandwich. I don't know what they eat. I guess they eat or Panda Express. Some of them go fishing. Some of them go to regular Chinese stores, get their food, and go home and just keep to themselves. That's it. Same thing with Haitians. The same thing with Jamaicans. They come over here, smoke that ganja, and keep to themselves. They literally just keep to themselves. And they fill pieces that way. They go to Walmart and they shop, go home. That's it. That's it. In their original country that they're from, you have to do what the ambassador tells you to do. Otherwise, over here, it's not so much. But why do I have to look over my shoulder every 5 seconds? Because a child is deducted every 10 seconds. Because it doesn't take that much to do this. Pay attention. It doesn't take that much to do this. And all of a sudden you look and your child's gone. And it's legal. Organ harvesting and all this other shit is legal in 30-some countries and 30-some states. No law saying that we have to stop and to be perfectly honest, I need people to shout out to Jasmine about this whole situation. Even though she's not from the state of Nevada, even though she's not from the state of Michigan, even though she's not from New York, she's from St. Louis. But she was born and raised in St. Louis, but she's in Texas right now. Maybe she needs to get with her hometown in St. Louis. Because this is dangerous here in the United States. Remember when I told you yesterday about them sleepovers? It's like it's like normacy ain't normal no more. It ain't normal anymore. And I still can't find the video. She was on today. I think she was on CNN today. I can't find it right now. How do you know what we care and don't care about? You ever heard of that expression, if you don't apply, let it fly? If it don't apply, let the damn thing fly. If you're conscious, I'll say this. If you are conscious, if your awareness is up there, 100%. You see what's going on around you, then you don't have to worry about nothing. I'm not saying be bunkered and have to buy so much supplies and load up with. I'm not saying be like, what's that stupid movie? What's that movie with Will Smith? I Am Legend. I'm not saying be like I Am Legend. I'm not saying that. That's going a little bit too far. But what I am saying is you want to keep your enemies, you're going to get your friends close and your enemies closer. And the people you should keep close to you, your family. Just saying. You might want to be close to them. Keep an eye on Jeffrey. That uncle. That uncle that be a little bit too friendly. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. If you're going to fight for kids, fight for all of them, not just the selective ones. I'm black first, fam. I am black first. Be one. I fight for my kids and fight for other people's kids. True enough, I look after yours and I go, okay. I'm gonna tell you this, don't cross the street. You cross the street, you get hit by a car, oh well. Because I have to warn you so many times not to cross the damn street. But here's the thing, and I say that, and I don't say that with intent to harm. I say that with the intent of now the community of today ain't the same as it was the community of yesteryears. That now is like, you ain't gonna shit. Okay, I'm back live. You can't tell my child what to do. Who the hell you think this is my son, this is my daughter? I go, okay. All right. What's this child? Is this your child? Yeah. What is he doing with what is he doing with this boy over here? Don't worry about it, I'll handle it. Okay. Handle it. I can't look after your child. I'm not disciplining him. I don't have to. That's not my child. But I do have the responsibility as a community. I and you have the responsibility to look at the other child, because that particular child might get into something that he has no business getting into. And so if I grab him and I send him over to the house that he lives in, and I communicate with the father, and the father tells me, don't handle my son like this, I'm not abusing him. I'm not abusing him. I'm helping him. I'm helping her too. But what's worse are the daughters. That's the worst part. Now, unless she's being cooperative and she, that's different. But weeping and crying and yelling, don't touch me, you ain't my daddy. Do not touch me, you ain't my daddy. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So that should answer your question. And you should care for all kids. No, mine comes first. Mine comes first. You well and good. All I gotta do is just look at them. And they go, we get it. And they go and do their thing. If I look at that particular child, if I look at that Asian kid over there, if I look at the Asian kid and he's playing in the street and I go, you need to get out the street. He smiles at me and he keeps playing in the street and a car comes, bam! Now, I wouldn't leave him out there on the street. I wouldn't dare leave him out there on the street. But my voice carries. So if I tell you get out of the street and you're still on the street and a car comes to hit you, is it my fault? No, it's not my fault. It's their fault. But the one thing I will not do, and I seen this, and I still see this, I am not, I repeat, not going to tie my child down. You know those book bags with the long strap? I don't know what they call the ones with the long strap, and they say, come on. And they tugging on their child. Why don't you just get a chain and just drag that? Have y'all seen this? I see this in stores all the time where the child has the backpack with the long rope or the strap or whatever, and the parent is dragging the child. They're just dragging the child. Say, come on. You're not going to get away with me. Why don't you grab them by the hand? Why don't you grab them by the hand? It's like, this is better. Come on. I'll be like, don't move. Yeah, don't move. Simple. It's like, stop touching. And they go in there, and the kids on there, playing around. It's okay. Have you and you wonder why they go up to the greeter and they go, I'm looking for Johnny. Have you seen him? When literally I pop you one time. No, before I do that, I always go, before we go up in here, don't ask for nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me no question. Don't ask me nothing. We going up in here, get what we need to get, and get out. Do not touch anything. Don't ask me for nothing. That was my mother. My father was a little different. I would ask my father, and he goes, is your grades up? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, we'll see. Mark it on your calendar. and if he sees my grades, he'll buy me anything that I want. But my mom, totally different. Don't ask me for shit. Well, she wouldn't say that. Don't ask me for nothing. You ain't getting nothing. I'm like, we getting what we need to get and getting out. Don't touch nothing either. I'm like, all right. my youngest cousin, he ended up doing that. My mom just never did it again. But these kids nowadays, and the next thing you know, my baby's gone. My baby's gone. What does he look like? He's a little tiny. How old is he? He's 7 years old and he's running around. And now we got to waste time looking for him. We got to waste time looking for little Johnny because your inability to be a parent and you want me to respect all word of advice, and I'm gonna move on. You know, the old saying is put your oxygen mask on first before you put it on anybody else.
Upholds heavy patriarchy. For agents of the states, those roles are fulfilled by men. Those roles are not fulfilled by women. Okay, but you're saying not because they have their finger on the trigger or anything, but because they could potentially, but likely not, being trained to become an actual terrorist at some point in the future, that we have the right to end their life now. I just think that you're a sick, depraved human being.
Before they get our lives.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. If someone in the Taliban kidnapped your children and started training them to be terrorists, do you think our government would be justified in killing your children?
That would be impossible. You're asking.
You're not engaging with the question.
That's an impossible question.
It's not impossible for your child to be kidnapped, or else kidnapping wouldn't happen.
My kids are in their 30s. It's not going to happen. That's
okay,
impossible.
so if okay, let's go back. I forgot that you said you're old. Let's go back to when your children were 7. If literal like terrorists kidnapped your children when they were 7 and started training them to be terrorists, do you think our government would be justified in killing them?
If it's a war zone, I'm sorry, yes. If it's a war zone. So what are you looking like that for? You don't want to see. You're a young boy. You don't understand things. You don't understand. You don't understand life. You have no idea about life. You're still young. Would you rather my 2 children or anybody's 2 children survive and then later on unalive hundreds of people, or would you rather see those 2 unalive? What would you rather see? What would you rather see?
I'd rather kill the people that kidnap them and are training them to be terrorists.
But
I'm gonna need a moment, man. It's not your turn to speak. Ultimately,
that wasn't a
it's my
choice.
life, and I control the speech on this life. It's impossible for your child to be
Yes,
kidnapped,
it
or
is.
else kidnapping wouldn't happen.
My kids are in their 30s. It's not going to happen. It's
okay,
impossible.
so if okay, let's go back. I forgot that you said you're old. Let's go back to when your children were 7. If literal like terrorists kidnapped your children when they were 7 and started training them to be terrorists, do you think our government would be justified in killing them?
If it's a war zone, I'm sorry, yes. If it's a war zone. So what are you looking like that for? You don't want to see. You're a young boy. You don't understand things. You don't understand. You don't understand life. You have no idea about life. You're still young. Would you rather my 2 children or anybody's 2 children survive and then later on unalive hundreds of people, or would you rather see those 2 unalive? What would you rather see?
How many of you think this caller is dumb? Put a 1 in the chat if you think this caller is dumb. Rather insane. So they were 7. Of course, they were 7 years old, and they were radicalized. That's the word, radicalized. Would you unalive them? And he said yes. So you couldn't shoot them in the kneecaps? This is insane. This is totally insane. Everybody must be in 3 hours or 3 hours. I can't even speak. Everybody must be 3 hours ahead of me. Dumb and disturbing. Everybody must be 3 hours ahead of me. That's why it's delayed. But if you were living in the Pacific area, it wouldn't be late. If you were in LA, you would catch this on point. But everybody's 3 hours ahead of me. So oh well. Yeah, but that was dumb. That was fucking dumb.
What would you rather see?
I'd rather kill the people that kidnap them and are training them to be terrorists. I'm gonna need a moment, man. It's not your turn to speak. Ultimately,
that wasn't a
it's my life, and I control the speech on this live. Okay.
It wasn't a choice.
Right now, I am controlling your speech, and I'm turning your microphone off. And yes, it was a choice. Listen. You unmute your mic. Listen, I'm gonna make this clear. You unmute your mic again and start speaking, I'm gonna kick you. That's my last time muting you. One more time, you unmute it and you start speaking, you're gone. He left on his own. Good, I don't care. What a sick human being. That's where we're at as a country. Man. Whoever thought that MAGA would take it that far? There are no bounds to the MAGA mind virus.
Oh, it gets worse.
Donald.
It gets worse. It gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. But things are going to get better over time. Can't guarantee everything, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Iran Supreme Leader dead after U.S. and Israel airstrike. Team coverage. This is almost criminal. Almost. This is crazy. Anybody see the new Mortal Kombat trailer yet? It's looking up there. Oh, got it. I saw her today.
Jasmine Crockett claps back at Trump for insulting her IQ again. Here it is.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests.
Why are they taking old shit and reformatting it as if this came out yesterday? That's stupid. That is dumb. Looks like I can't. Looks like oh, damn it. Barb, why didn't you tell me I had You're supposed to be my secretary. Let me see. Where the fuck? Oh my God, I love. back up, go back up, go back up. Where is it? That's not CNN News. Nope. 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 No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's dead. Nope. 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 So I must have caught it. No, not CBN News. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You know what I think happened? He put it on members only. That's what he did. He put it on fucking members only. Let me see. Let's talk. Nope, that's not it. Oh, this is it.
About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw Secretary Rumsfeld and Deputy Secretary Wolfowitz. I went downstairs just to say hello to some of the people on the Joint Staff who had used to work for me. And one of the generals called me and he said, "Sir, you got to come in. You got to come in and talk to me a second." He said, "I just got this down from upstairs," meaning the Secretary of Defense office today. And he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years. Starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran."
So again, it must be emphasized that this U.S.-Israeli war of aggression against Iran has nothing to do.
Are you talking about Mortal Kombat? Yeah, the movie, not the video game. I only know that from the video game when I was. Yeah, they're coming out with. Yeah, they're coming out with the second movie in May or April. I watched the first one. I have it. There's some things they had to work on, but I guess they did a couple things that could have been improved. But now Johnny Cage is being played by Carl something from The Boys. If you ever seen the series The Boys, and I can't wait for The Boys, the final season of The Boys to come out, but it's being played by Butcher. Johnny Cage is being played by Butcher. And of course, he's going to have stunt doubles because this man does not know martial arts. He just doesn't. If I know anything, it's like, why do you waste time? You could have got Scott Adkins or something. You could have gotten Scott Adkins to play Johnny Cage. But if you have whatchamacallit playing Scorpion, which he's a good actor, by the way. I can't lie. When I saw he played in a whole bunch of movies, including John Wick, the 4th John Wick, and was slicing people up. Just slice. And when he was him and Donnie Yen, that was beautiful, boy. That was beautiful. Even though Donnie Yen, he does his thing. You know? But yeah, it is coming up. But I found what I was looking for.
With nuclear weapons. Iran does not have nuclear weapons and has not tried to get nuclear weapons. If Iran had nuclear weapons, the US and Israel would not be attacking it right now. This is why the US has never attacked North Korea, because North Korea does actually have nuclear weapons. What's actually happening here is that the Trump administration is just regurgitating the same lies that the George W. Bush administration used to try to justify its illegal imperialist war of aggression against Iraq in 2003, when the CIA falsely claimed that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction, WMDs, and the US corporate media obediently regurgitated these lies on behalf of the CIA. If Iraq actually had nuclear weapons, the US would not have invaded. The same situation is true in Iran today.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like and share and subscribe to the channel. I don't have my Cash App up there. if you feel so, obliged as to support the channel, support. If you like what you are hearing right now, even though you're just seeing my face because StreamYard wants to act stupid, and of course, I got demonetized for dumbass reasons, just dumb reasons. And I don't even make that much. And I don't even make that much money at all. But you got people who make tens of thousands of dollars who are demonetized for actually having good content. But I guess we have to do certain things, do certain ways, whatever. Jesus, I believe you are the Son of the Most High God. Oh, I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to say thank you for coming to the stream. Thank you. See, told you this was the same old lie. It's dominated the genocide. You know what? To be perfectly honest with you, Barb, I don't know what to believe anymore. Because they have you looking in, and we should learn this from Hitler. We're going to have you looking into a lie after a lie after a lie after a lie. Whenever you adapt something, that's a lie. The only way to tell the truth is to uncover and reveal it for what it is. And it is truth, and it is fact. Whenever you have to cover something up, it's called a lie. And they're spilling out lies after lie after lie after lie.
And let's not forget the recent history, which is rarely mentioned in the Western media. Back in 2015, Iran signed a nuclear deal with the U.S. and the 4 other permanent members of the UN Security Council, plus Germany and the European Union. They all came together to sign the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the JCPOA. That was known as the Iran nuclear deal. And Iran agreed that it would never develop nuclear weapons in return for the U.S. and other Western countries lifting the illegal sanctions that they had imposed on Iran to try to crush the Iranian government. And the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, said very clearly that Iran was abiding by the nuclear deal. It was not developing nuclear weapons. But what happened in 2018? During his first administration as U.S. president, Trump illegally tore up the nuclear deal, violating a UN Security Council resolution that the U.S. had previously voted for under Obama. And then Trump imposed illegal sanctions on Iran. So Trump destroyed the Iran nuclear deal. And then when Trump came into office as U.S. president for his second term in 2025, he claimed he wanted to negotiate another nuclear deal with Iran. And then what happened? In June 2025, the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran again in what became known as the 12-Day War. And the Wall Street Journal admitted that the U.S. did not actually want real peace talks, real negotiations. Instead, Washington and Tel Aviv were using these fake peace talks as a ruse, as a cover, as an illusion, while they were planning the surprise attack against Iran. And this is exactly what the U.S. and Israel have done yet again this February 2026, launching another war of aggression against Iran on a much bigger scale. They want regime change. They think the Iranian government is weak and they can overthrow it and put a puppet regime in power. It is the U.S. and Israel that do not want peace. They do not support diplomacy. They never actually wanted these peace talks and these fake negotiations. By the way, Iran's current president is a reformist. The Western media praised him when he was elected, saying that Masoud Pezeshkian is a reformist who wants to improve relations with the West. He wants to agree to another Iran nuclear deal, despite the fact that many critics in Tehran said that you cannot ever trust the West. You cannot trust the United States and Israel because they violate every agreement they sign. And that's exactly what happened yet again. Ask Native Americans what it's like signing agreements with the U.S. government. They know that the U.S. government can never be trusted because what the U.S. government wants is not peace. It's hegemony. It's complete dominance over this very important geostrategic region. The Middle East, or better term, is West Asia. It goes without saying that many of the world's largest producers of oil and natural gas are in this region. The U.S. wants to control all of those resources. And in particular, the U.S. empire is waging a new Cold War.
It's no different. It's no different from China. It's no different from, America has had their hand in the cookie jar for decades. So it's not surprising. It's not surprising that they want to eliminate competition. It's not surprising at all. But casualties, there's a such thing as casualties of war. And if I have to sacrifice my life or the life of others to have the United States be the top dog, and do we have to state otherwise that there are those who own and control the United States of America as a whole, or control the entire world, want things like this to happen? Are we not surprised? Are we not shocked? The hell with the Bilderbergs. This is more than just the Bilderbergs. Way more than the Bilderbergs.
Against China, and the U.S. wants to cut off China from its most important sources of energy, which is also why the U.S. invaded Venezuela and kidnapped Venezuela's president. It's not a coincidence that more than 80% of Venezuela's oil exports were going to China. And by the way, China also buys about 80% of Iran's oil exports. And China is the largest importer of oil on earth and the number one purchaser of oil from the Persian Gulf region. China buys a lot of oil from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, the UAE, Kuwait, Iran, Oman, Qatar, Bahrain. The U.S. wants to control all of this so U.S. corporations can profit and exploit them. And the U.S. wants to cut off China from this energy as the U.S. prepares for a future war with China to do the same thing to China that it's trying to do to Iran, to have total global domination and global hegemony to restore the unipolar global order. That is the goal of the.
But my question is, how are you able to do it and you're building electric cars? So what the fuck are you doing with all this oil? You see how I had to pause on that, right? Because I had to think, what other than gassing up cars and gassing up other things, what's the purpose of stealing oil drums from other countries when, one, we have our own oil here, drill baby drill, here in the United States? B1 stealth, and also I plan to B1 stealth B.
The U.S. empire. By the way, this is currently what Donald Trump is doing to Cuba. The U.S. empire is trying to crush Cuba with an oil blockade, starving the country of fuel to try to collapse the economy, to overthrow the government. And Trump said, he admitted, they want a takeover of Cuba. So we see how the US empire is using access to oil and other natural resources as a geopolitical weapon to overthrow governments it doesn't like, to impose global hegemony.
So you want to take over Iran. You want to take over Venezuela. Or you want to dominate Venezuela. You throw bombs in Nigeria. But then they have to pay for tariffs. Oh, excuse me. We have to pay for that. We do. We have to pay for the tariffs. Okay, cool.
And when we look at the Middle East, West Asia, this extremely important region, Israel plays the key role as an extension of the US empire, as an outpost, a beachhead of the US empire. Netanyahu himself boasted that Israel is a mighty aircraft carrier of the US, an unsinkable aircraft carrier. And by the way, Netanyahu is an American. He had US citizenship twice. He only gave up his citizenship in order to become the prime minister of Israel. He was educated and spent the most formative years of his life in the US. He worked in Boston with Mitt Romney and other Republicans. He's been a friend of Trump for decades. He is an American settler colonialist in West Asia who is trying to colonize the region on behalf of the US empire. And Iran is the biggest obstacle to US imperial control of one of the most important regions on earth. Never forget that back in 1951, Iran had a democratically elected prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh, who was not a communist. He was not even a socialist. He was a left-wing nationalist who nationalized the oil of Iran. He said, "Our oil belongs to us, not to British and American corporations." So what happened? In 1953, the US and the UK carried out a coup d'etat. The CIA and Britain's intelligence service, MI6, organized a coup d'etat that overthrew the democratically elected Prime Minister Mossadegh, and the US put in power the Shah, a king, a monarch, a dictator. The US does not care one iota about democracy. None of this has to do with democracy. This is imperialism. The US wants to put in power a puppet who will govern Iran on behalf of the US empire and allow US corporations to exploit Iran's natural resources and to exploit the labor of the Iranian people. If you listen to the rhetoric of imperial planners in Washington, they used to talk about how Iran was part of their so-called twin pillars strategy. The US empire tried to control the Middle East, West Asia, with two pillars. The Western pillar was Saudi Arabia, and the Eastern pillar was Iran. However, in 1979, the people of Iran rose up in a revolution, and they overthrew the Shah, the US-backed dictator, and they had an anti-colonial revolution and created a new government. And the US...
So basically, you cut off the head, you take over a nation. They ain't no different for what they did in Cuba, or what they tried to do in Cuba when, what did I say his name was? Fidel Castro was involved, or when he was alive. When he was alive, he did things for his people that some were honorable, and then there are those who were that were unforgivable, according to the United States. He killed women and children. He killed innocent Cuban people. You mean whites? He ain't killed no black Cuban. And if he was so bad, how come him and wait? This is a good study. This is a real good study. While the United States wanted to attack Fidel Castro, wanted to overthrow Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro. a white boy at that. A white boy. Let me see. Oh, let me see here. Yeah, that's this. Malcolm. Why do I hit the M button and M pops up? Ooh.
Oh. Let me ask you, Mr. X, why did you visit Fidel Castro this morning?
Well, you have to understand it like this. Because of the climate that has been produced by the trouble in Africa, in the Congo, in Kenya, and other places, it has caused a great deal of tension in Harlem. And based on that, some representatives from the 28th precinct a few weeks ago visited our restaurant, and they were discussing these incidents that stemmed from this tension, and they asked us for suggestions on some of the best ways to combat it. So we suggested that they, instead of condemning the leaders of these different nationalist groups, that they get all of them together at the Amsterdam News Office, where they have the 28th Precinct Community Council at the Amsterdam News Office. I think it's once a month. So they took this suggestion, and at this meeting about 3 or 4 weeks ago, a sort of a working unity was brought about by the editor of the Amsterdam News and Captain Noonan of the 28th Precinct and Patrolman Sosis, who handles, I think, the public relations or something or other. So it was suggested that working with just that element wasn't sufficient, but to get that element of leaders together with the civic leaders, the business leaders and whatnot there in Harlem. So last Friday, a meeting was held at the Amsterdam News Office, presided over by James Hicks, the editor, and Captain Noonan and Sosis, and I think Inspector Whalen was there, and Lieutenant Seeley. Plus, there was Commissioner Dumpson of the Department of Welfare, and Dr. Alfred Morrow, the ex-commissioner, and John B. King, Reverend Dempsey, the mayor on Harlem, Dr. Allen, Nathan Friedman, and Vernell Pemberton, assistants to the superintendent of districts. There was Norman Saunders from the mayor's committee was there. And
I believe you, Mr.
Well, all right.
Go ahead.
I want you to know who was there so you'll know why I was in Fidel Castro's room. Since you want to know, we'll get the details.
Needless to say, Fidel Castro funded the two. For whatever reasons, you're going to have to research that yourself. Because I know. I don't know everything, but needless to say, Fidel Castro did more for Cuba when it comes to this healthcare. Now, this healthcare scare here in the United States, where all your premiums are going up, just think about it. Would you rather be in the hands of a mad dictator here in the United States that proclaimed that everything is A-okay and the economy is booming when you know it's not? Inflation is down when you know it's up. Your rent is going up. I mean, pricing is going up. Everything is going up. Healthcare gone up. Wouldn't you rather go to school for free? Would you rather have your healthcare free? Go to Cuba. Go to fucking Cuba. Go to fucking Cuba. Nothing in life is for free. Incorrect. Go to the grocery store. Well, let me enlighten you. How much is a pack of meat? Now, depending on what grocery store you go to, if you go to grocery stores like Albertsons or something like that, or not Food for Less, because there ain't no Food for Less anymore, because the Food for Less was much cheaper. I'll remember Castro's Super Cow Q funny story. I never read into that. To be perfectly honest with you, I never read into that. And go to the grocery store. Go to the grocery store everywhere that is US-based product. US-based product is exactly going down. Foreign foods are going up. Okay. There's this thing called pricing. And if we want to satisfy our customers, we're going to give them what's called coupons, right? We're going to give these things called coupons, and you can take these particular coupons, but first you got to be connected with us first. And then, of course, if you have these certain coupons, you can get a certain percentage off of a pack of meat, off of some milk, off of eggs, dairy, meat products, whatever. You can get a certain percentage off of that. That doesn't mean you can fill up your fucking cart full of shit. It's not what it was back then, what it is now, is my point. But you believe whatever the hell you want to believe. Why are you the only one that thinks everything is down, but everybody else is complaining? Eggs shouldn't have to cost $5 or $6 for a dozen eggs. It all depends what grocery store you go to. You go to your local grocery stores, you're going to be paying a lot. But it wasn't no different, but just to satisfy your curiosity and make sure you won a point, which I don't know what point you're trying to win. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that where? I want to move to your city, sir. What city and state? What city and state where you're going to find eggs for a dozen for $1.50? Please connect me to the motherfucking. Give me the motherfucking connect. Give me the connect. Give me the connect. In Carolina, in North Carolina. Come to us in North Carolina. In the religion belt, they probably don't want ICE to come up there. Wait, is it Republican or is North Carolina a red state? It's not strictly a red state. It is considered a swing. So it's basically a purple state. So it's purple, just like we're purple. It's a purple state, not a red state. That would be why. Possibly, maybe. But let's go to how much are the price of, might as well and say you a damn lie. Approximately $4.25. As of March of 2025, the average price of a dozen eggs in North Carolina is approximately $4.25. You can't lie to me. $1.50. He said he did say $1.50. He said $1. He said $1.50, y'all. Where in America can you get the price of eggs for $1.50? I still think that wasn't the point. It wasn't the point, sir. He stated that the price of eggs in North Carolina, not South Carolina, but North Carolina, was $1.50. Now, if he would have said that and if it were absolutely true, I would be like, I'm staying here. I'm moving to where he's at right now because of the actual price drop. But with this, we didn't even talk about tax. We didn't even talk about tax, and that's a good thing. We didn't even speak about tax. No, that's a damn. No, sir. No, sir. Nothing changes. Nothing has changed. We're in 2026 and nothing has changed. This is the proof, fam. This is facts. This is all facts, sir. Nothing has changed since then. It's nothing. No inflation. Inflation has not changed. It's only increased. It only increased. Maybe in your mind, maybe we need to see a receipt. Because I can't go based on what you say. I got to go based on what this says. It says, doesn't it say it right here, ladies and gentlemen? Doesn't it say approximately a price for a dozen eggs costs $4.25? How does it drop from $4 to $1? And inflation hasn't moved yet. It's only moved upwards 2%. How does it just drop from one end of the spectrum to another end of the spectrum in a matter of months? How does it do that? How does it do it? We don't believe you. We need more people. Moving on. Moving on. Where's the X? Jesus Christ. Damn. Fuck. We're fucked. Hold on. I don't even know where Carolina is. Hold on. Let me see. Carolina. Let me see. Everybody wants to prove that they're right. So, this is what I got. Let me see. 2026. Let me see. I wish this thing would stop. South Carolina, for example. The price of eggs, $5.75. $5.75. In 2006, right? Got Maine, Wyoming, Colorado, South Carolina, Vermont, Utah, New Mexico, Tennessee, North Carolina. Oops, I fucked that all up. North Carolina, $5.60. $5.60. Could somebody please reduce this man to ashes? And this is 2026. Somebody reduce this man's comments to ashes, because you're not going to lie in our faces. Thank you very much. Talking about $1.50. Nick, I wish I might. Because we all moving to Carolina, if that's the case. But in New Mexico, in Wyoming, in Louisiana, which is $5.59. No, let's go to where I live. In the state of Nevada, $6.07 for a dozen? $6.07. In Florida, it's $6.30 for a gallon of eggs. And he's so, inflation is all, you must be a Trump supporter. And you're not going to lie in my face, because facts is facts. Fuck your feelings. Facts is facts. I just brought some receipts. I brought the receipts. So if you go all the way down, it gets cheaper. It gets cheaper. For example, Michigan, where I'm born and raised, a thing of eggs, the price of eggs is $4.82. It's still expensive. Still expensive. But if you go down further, it gets cheaper in Missouri. It gets cheaper in Missouri, $4.24. Why is it so high in my state and in my city? That is mind-boggling to me. But we debunked his argument, so I don't have to go into it anymore. But the price of admission is they try to get rid of Fidel Castro. They try killing him dozens of times. This is no different, ladies and gentlemen. It is no different. No different. But the casualties that come with it are it's not constitutional at all. You disobey laws. You go over the heads of the Supreme Court. You fight the Constitution every single day because you know that you will be responsible for the war crimes that are happening all around. You just starting wars. You start wars and the rumors of wars, and it's in your Bible. Now, I'm not saying he's the Antichrist. I'm not saying that here we go again. Texas, $1.68. We don't believe you. Need more people. We don't believe you. If eggs become a delicacy, we failed as a nation. How are we going to run out of eggs? Show you right. Show you right. Blue Nation TV, shut up, clean your nose. Anybody with a ranch, do yourself a favor and kick this motherfucker for I do. Put something in his mouth. My zipper stuck. Anyway, yeah. Try living in California. Ooh, can't live in California. No. You cannot live in California. You cannot. We went to California, and by God, I mean, nice city. We went to the beach over there. Beautiful. It's beautiful, y'all. It is so beautiful. But I can't live there. Nope, can't live there. Because number one, the streets so narrow. You got to. They got parking lots. They don't have parking lots. It's so livable. It's so livable, but it's pricey. The malls, even though the malls ain't the same anymore like they used to be, people still go into those malls. It's nice atmosphere. You can't wear certain colors in certain places, but it's still good. And I ran into the dude that played Ty Crane in what movie was that? With Samuel L. Jackson, who played it's a real true story. Coach Carter. I ran into an actor who played Ty Crane. The basketball. It was a basketball movie, right? I knocked into one of the actors. And I'm like, don't you play in Coach Carter movies? He's like, yeah. And he looked, I don't want to downplay on the brother. Yes, definitely vote for Jet. Well, the last voting was today. If you didn't vote, if you couldn't vote today, you gotta wait until November. Fam. But I knocked into one of the actors when we went out to the beach, and he was out there begging for money. I'm like, bruh, they don't give you no high contracts out there? They don't give you no high contract? It's like, it's the movie industry. It is what it is. I'm like, I guess so. I felt bad for the brother, yo. And I really wanted to give him some money out of my pocket, even though I didn't quite really have it. I'm like, fuck. I felt bad. But anyway, Crockett needs to be careful. She does. Baby girl needs to be careful. And I don't see anybody else do it. By the way, just to inform you, if nobody knows this, then I'm going to tell you. If you do know it, then you already know. Kamala Harris endorsed Jasmine Crockett. Okay? All right? We good? Yeah, now you know. And am I supposed to be thrilled about this? Am I supposed to be hunky-dory? I mean, she still has a long way to go. She's going to win the primary. I'm not shocked of that. It's the general that I'm concerned, right? Don't worry about this. You know what he's about to do. He a hater. He a straight hater. But anyway, there you got. I'm just saying, you need to protect the old girl. You need to protect Jasmine Crockett from what's coming down the pipeline. She's beautiful, but she's a mess. So you would rather for her to act white. You would rather, no, this is not the way to go. This is not, you want her to have on long hair and act all civilized. We've done that. Now, I agree with Homegirl. I'm a homeboy. So you want her to act. So you want her to act like you. You want her to act civilized. You want her to act. You want her to act a certain way. You want her to act like George Bush like type. Oh, I get it. It's cool. Yeah, cool. Hey, Dennis. They want Jasmine Crockett to act like what's a good who's Trump's wife? Who's Trump's wife that came out with a movie that no one's seen the premiere yet? Who came up with it? No one came out to premiere this movie. And I seen the previews for it. I seen the previews. Boy, that was a mess. It was a mess. It was a fucking mess. But needless to say, the Democrats are I get you. I got you. Stealing money. You kind of spelled it wrong, but whatever. How are they stealing money? And if they were stealing money, it ain't no different from what the Republicans are doing. Donald Trump has stolen. The Democrats still a candy bar. This mofo in office right now, who he's not a Republican nor a Democrat, he's a capitalist. He has stolen over $1.6 billion. Most of it being your tax money. What do you think about that? Exactly. It's worth more. The candy bar ain't nothing. Everybody's tripping over a goddamn candy bar. Versus, no. Oh, my bad, Dennis. My bad. You the man. My bad. 3.3. 3.3 billion with a B. My bad. And that's part of it is your tax money. And you saying you got, and these MAGAs, these Trump supporters are saying that he's done a lot for this country. And their go-to is always going to be that wall. Which that wall looks terrible. Anybody can climb that damn wall. What the you don't stop playing in my face. Anybody can climb that fucking wall. In Europe, we are actually making laws so in European Trump will not happen here. I'll look into that. But good. We can't have a 34 convicted felon anymore. That shit stops today. But this is the reason why they get away with this, because of money. Money. Power. Money. Power make the world go round. Money and power power lets you get away with things. Money and power lets you get away with some files being missed. What happened to those files? You think we forgot? Hold on. You think we forgot, fam? You honestly think we forgot? How your name is being mentioned over 1,000 times in these files. Do you think we've forgotten all about that? Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars he has wasted nearly on himself, but he's still pissed off at. How the hell are you going to be a billionaire and still be mad at Obama? Does that make any sense? You're a billionaire. Your kids is secure, and he's still asking for a portion of the money for reparations because he was being accused, he was being prosecuted. He wants his part of the reparations. And remember that the civil rights hurt white people. Civil rights hurt white people. Innocent white people. I don't know why he is so ass tight about Obama. Is it because he clapped back at Trump? Once Trump clapped at him, Obama clapped back at him. I think he said something to the extent as when does he ever change his diaper or something like that? Something to the degree which is mild compared to what I would say. It's very mild. But he got mad because he got embarrassed. He got the Nobel Peace Prize presented to him versus Trump, who didn't get present a Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got presented a Nobel Peace Prize versus what Trump had to do. He had to whine and cry and bitch and moan about it. And then he looked at Martin Luther King, and that's the reason why they fucked up Martin Luther King's birthday. And they fucked and made Jesse Jackson rest in power, even though there's some things that I agreed and disagreed about. That was there's a lot of things he has to answer for, but and still may he rest in power. The representative of the House, John somebody. These people are prejudiced. These fucking people are fucking prejudiced. I'm sorry. Hope never heard is still a lie. Oh, whatever. These people are dangerous. This whole world don't make no damn sense.
In no way possible whatsoever. We're not over there. We have no interest in that region whatsoever. None. We don't need the oil.
Oops.
America has enough oil to last us forever, for hundreds of years.
Yep.
This is what most people don't know. America, right now, in North America, there's enough oil in North America to last hundreds of years. We don't need oil from any other country. So look at this shit. It's just bullshit. All for Israel.
That often happens in war, but we're doing this not for now.
Rosalind, thank you for the cash app. Appreciate you, girl. Thank you, Rosalind.
Pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran. We ask God to protect all of our heroes in harm's way, and we trust that, with his help, the men and women of the armed forces will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces,
Shout out to South Africa. What up, Danger Man Dubs? South Africa. What up, South Africa? Peace to you, peeps.
And all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death.
Genius Williams. Thank you for the cash app. Little sections over there. Like, you know, Kurdistan and all the rest of these little spots. So they're trying to break it up.
Take over.
They're trying to break it up into little factions, which will make it even easier to control for Khazari, really. Because Khazari can go in and buy off if it's broken down into different sections. It's much easier to to corrupt. Together we stand, divided we fall. That's their game. So he's committed that Americans may be killed. And so this is what they let me see if I can show you. So right after
he said Martin Luther King has been rolling in his grave for the past 30 years. Martin Luther King is rolling in his grave tonight. I'm telling you, people do not respect. People do not respect our people who have fought, bled, and died for civil rights and the bus boycotts and all that other shit. And him and Malcolm were this close to taking over the United States. This close. I am literally an immigrant with a black family, and I am the biggest minority in this country. I didn't know that. I'm the biggest minority in this country. Know who you are talking to before you say it and disrespect it. Dead man. You said you're an immigrant, right? I respect Martin Luther King, but don't respect when he's done his image. So let me ask you a question, dead man, real quick, and I'm going to deaden it. I'm not gonna open the Pandora's box. What do you think about this whole FBA thing? What do you think? What do you think about this? What do you think about this whole Adolf thing? Because me, I'm DAFA. I am DAFA, which means DAFA, DAFA, descendant African of free men in America. That's who I am. With meaning, there are black folks who are let's just put it this way, because I don't like to go into the whole dialogue of it. We are a peaceful group, opposite of FBA. Opposite of FBA. So in shorter words, what do you think about this whole FBA thing?
Right after the war hit, they thought that Iran, they thought Iran would not have, they thought Iran would be stifled for a second. They were like, okay, well, we'll shoot Iran. Come on, man.
You said you like FBA if they are peaceful to you. I feel like the original Americans who were enslaved need to get their reparations. Indeed, but how you get it is not likely so. And plus, how you're doing about it, it's not gonna work. You're not just gonna sit on your ass and expect somebody to represent you. You're screaming for the heel. What they're doing is they're screaming for the heels, and they're screaming for any and everybody to represent them and to just write them a check. I heard this fool the other day, Tariq Nasheed, representing Donald Trump as if he's going to sign reparations for him. No one is going to sign reparations for these people. They thought they had something when someone was shouting them out NBC. And as soon as they find out who they were, they ended up taking the post down. Not the post, but it was something that they took down. Well, I have an issue. Is you have people from other countries to come here, look at y'all like don't, even though they're black, look like the people who come here and look like y'all people don't are black. If so, anything, I'm disappointed that the community is falling and that real Black Americans don't get the respect that they deserve from anybody. That's why you have to build it from the mud, fam. And I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you are from Nigeria or you're from Ghana or you're from that part of the region in Haiti or you're from Jamaica or you're from where the hell ever. Community building is community building. But you have to get it from the mud. These people let me give you a real brief setting of what Abraham Traore is doing right now in Burkina Faso. I'm just going to give you a real brief video. It's not that long. What they're doing in Burkina Faso is the exact same thing that people in, I think it's Iran, were doing. Because these people you haven't heard FBA in their rhetoric. You haven't heard it. And it's going to make you say, because all they're going to do is call you a tether all day. All they're going to do is just call you tether. That's all they're going to do is call you a tether. Versus what you and I, we have conversations. I mean, we might agree to disagree on certain things. Obamacare Act was not affordable. Yes, it was. Yes, it fucking was. It was basically, if you had insurance, you wouldn't have to worry about buy your own insurance. That was Obamacare. What is wrong with the people in Obamacare?
Has created jobs for thousands of Burkinabe youths. The project is being completely done by youths and professionals from Burkina Faso.
I don't like Obama, but I like Obamacare. All right, I want to show you something. Let's see.
Urban renewal, civic, and development initiative across major cities in Burkina Faso, spearheaded standards of many Burkinabe. Under the leadership of Traoré and his government, Burkina Faso is a country that is undergoing massive transformation with many construction and development projects across the entire country. These projects aim to transform Burkina Faso into one of the most developed countries in Africa and improve the living standards of many Burkinabe people, both in urban and rural areas. In today's video, therefore, we are going to cover the 20 mega development projects that will massively transform the country under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traoré.
Look at all them buses.
The Faso-Mebo Development Project. The Faso-Mebo Development Project is a massive government-led urban renewal, civic, and development.
That was brief. That was very brief. So basically they're building, from the roadways, you got the bikes, and people were bitching and moaning. Where do you get the money from the bikes? Doesn't matter. The bikes are there. The buses are there. The trains are there. The sewer lines are there. The roadways still constantly being built. That's what I'm talking about when I say infrastructure. Where is our infrastructure here? You're not going to find it because everything is owned and controlled by whites and Asians here. But yet, what is foundational Black Americans building? Can you name one thing that foundational Black Americans own and control in this country? I'll wait. But until that time, I don't want to hear a fucking word from. What's the question? What's the question? I can name nothing. What is something that you can name a Pan-African done? Name something that a Pan-African has done. I can name several things, but I'm only going to name one. Can you name anything that other races own and control? Yeah, China, Russia, Lebanon, Israel. Israel owns Hollywood because of the shit that they put out every single day. The movies, the movie industry is what you can and what you can't put out there. The video games that they put out there, you forgot about those. Your comic book industries, except for one. But I just showed you proof of what Burkina Faso is doing right now. And this is the reason why they got those borders locked up. No one can go in, no one can come out. They said, F you to the United States, get out. Barb, you're amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing. I'm just gonna let you have that small little victory right now. Because if I tell you, and there are black people who would definitely say that we have Black Panther, we have John Stewart, we have Storm. All those characters were created by white people. Your Stan Lees and everything. Now, Static Shock, and Icon were created by black people. Milestone. But the owner of Milestone, the creator of Milestone, had a heart attack. So where are Static Shock and Icon right now? NDC Comics. They bought the rights to them, and now they are both in DC, which you rarely hear Static Shock anymore. Rarely. And they did something to him too. They did something. I hope they didn't make him gay. I hope not. I hope not, because I'll tell you this much. I'm done with comic books. There's only one comic book that I will buy, and that's Eric July's comic book. For those who don't know who Eric July is, I want y'all to look up Ripper Universe. Look up Ripper Universe. Ripper 59 AK Ripper Universe. Has his own comic book with a range of comic books that he just created. That's owning and controlling something and trying something new other than making Superman gay or making Green Lantern gay or racist or something like that. It's just goofy. Just freaking goofy. I shed. I can't help it. I shed. So you're saying they own the series of comic books? Who do you think created the comic books, Barb? Who do you think created Spider-Man? Who created Spider-Man? Who created the Hulk? Who created Iron Man? Who created Captain America? Come on. Who do you usually see in those comic book movies right in the middle or towards the end? Stan Lee, before he passed away. Stan Lee wasn't a creator, he was a writer, which means he was the creator of those books. Of course, there were writers, but he was the actual foreseer. And there was another name attached to it. I just don't know what the name was. It was Stan Lee and it was somebody. Kirby. Jack Kirby. I think his name's Jack Kirby. Well, the point of contention is we didn't own those. We didn't own the rights to Barb, Eric. You know what? Never mind, because I'm in a good mood right now. I don't need to tell me to do anything. So go ahead and just sit in the corner for right now. Just go ahead and sit. Because I was doing perfectly fine talking to some perfectly good friends until you had to utter that nonsense as if I was talking to you. But anyway, Where was I? Yeah, but there are black comic book series. There are black comic book series who were created by whom? Created by whom? Created by whom? He's talking about not owning rights to as a community. Thank you, dead man. Thank you. He's saying that even it's going too fast. Even if it's saying even if it is a comic book about a black person, someone else still owns it. Correct, mundo. That's because Stan Lee and his people stole those rights from who? I'm good with it. I'm good. Hey, I'm good with it. If you got proof of that, I'm good with it, bro. If you could tell me if Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Thor, Hulk, and I know I'm mixing them up. Vision, Wanda, Wolverine, Storm, Gambit, Cyclops, all these people were created by black people. Please give me the receipt. I need the receipt. I need the receipts. Did you get my message? No, I didn't get your message. What was your message? I didn't receive your message. If you're talking about ownership, or creative rights, I can help you. How? Or are you not talking to me? Well, the point of contention, what was my whole point from the very beginning? My whole point was of the whole Burkina Faso thing and what they're doing over there versus what FBAs are particularly talking about doing over here in America, which I don't see it. I need you on a show on Tuesday. For what? What are we talking about?
Development initiative across major cities in Burkina Faso, spearheaded by the president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traore. The project.
I'm not guaranteeing anything, but just send me the email. Not guaranteeing anything.
Aims to transform Burkina Faso cities through improved sanitation, infrastructure, and citizen participation. The project has created jobs for thousands of Burkinabe youths, as the project is being completely done by youths and professionals from Burkina Faso.
I see infrastructure being built. So what should FBAs do, or what should FBAs be doing right now? Number one, the question that should be asked is what should they stop doing? And what they should stop doing is being so damn divisive. We're not divisive. We're sticking to our lineage. Okay, stick to your lineage. You don't have to call people out by name. You don't have to do that. What Dr. Ephi had to say is what he had to say. You don't have to comment on it. His belief is his belief. But people swear all day, every day, especially on that side of the aisle. We're delineating. No, yeah, you're delineating, but still, to this very day, no one knows who you truly are. Because you don't really have an identity. You're just holding on to a lineage that's been dead for over so many years. The people before you, more likely your grandparents and your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents have obviously done something that you haven't done yet. But yet you want to claim their lineage. You want to call everybody that you don't agree. Anybody who is not a Black American, you want to call tether. I don't get it, man. But that, man, that was my whole point. Man. You said you're an immigrant. I just asked the question. I didn't mean to go through a whole diatribe of it. But hey, you're welcome here anytime, fam. You're welcome. But see, you talking about we can't divide. We have to reunite, or we have to unite or unify. They don't want that because you're not a Black American. But guess what? I am an African descent. I am an American, Black American, and African descendant. Possibly, maybe of many tribes. I'm looked at as a tether. You would be looked at as a tether too. According to them. According to them. Are you from, if I may ask, what country are you from? And I'm not asking why would I be a tether? Because you came from a different country and you're here in the United States. You're from Russia. Okay. That would make you an immigrant, but that will also make you a tether because they just see you as a non-FBA. They will see you as a non-Black American. That's what they will see you as. And it's all about reparations. It's not about anything else. It's not about nation building. It's not about none of that. It's about just getting a goddamn paycheck, which quite frankly, once they get it, they're going to just use it up and be broke, which absolutely makes no damn sense. I don't think he's having, even though there are, from Russia. What she means is, are you Black or are you white? That's what she means. So you're not African lineage? Okay, so that means you're European. Like, but either way, no, no, they wouldn't like you. but then again, if you're a representative of somebody, let's just say, like, say you're an ambassador or something, right? If you shouted out FBA, they would cling to you like that, and it was like, can you help us get this reparation check? Like they tried doing, like they tried holding on to Tucker Carlson. And they said that Tucker Carlson, he was shouting out FBA. It sounded like a fucking broken record. But anyway, get this last little few pieces in. And then I'm off for today because it is 11 o'clock over here. It is 11 o'clock specific time over here. So, let's see.
Hold on. They thought Iran wouldn't be able to strike, but immediately what happened was Iran, they went ham. Iran, they went ham-ola. Oh no, what happened to them? I'm sorry, I gotta do this. Hold on. Judge, thank you for the super chat. Hold on.
So, Kripa, before I go to Omar, what's the latest update from your end?
Thanks, Eric. We have reports from the state TV that Iran is preparing to, quote, take revenge on Israel and that it is ready to deliver a strong response. As reported, the Israeli army says missiles have been launched towards Israel from Iran. And this comes as Israeli military also said that schools across Israel are closed, public has been informed to work from home, and public gatherings have officially been banned. We also have a latest coming in that Israel has launched missiles toward Israel, as you've already mentioned. And Israeli army says missiles launched from Iran were identified heading towards Israel, prompting silence across the country.
Iran is not playing. They launched strikes on everybody. They launched strikes on Saudi Arabia, on Dubai, on Abu Dhabi. Niggas in Dubai just chilling in the hotel and just got hit with a missile. Bow! Whoa, what the fuck, yo? They like, nigga, what up? These are all allies of Nukazari, where they launch strikes from these places. So they're like, if you guys are gonna be allies and launch strikes from these places, then sorry, homie, got to take you out the game. So it is insane over there right now. So they didn't think Iran was gonna strike this fast. They thought, okay, we're gonna strike them and this is going to be like it was last time. Nah, they were ready. Immediately, they struck back and hit. So they hit Tel Aviv. They hit Saudi Arabia. They hit Dubai. They hit Abu Dhabi. They hit the base, American base in Abu Dhabi. There was a soldier who was looking out of the window and saw the missile hit. He was like, "Oh shit!" It was an American soldier. He was looking out the window like, "Holy shit!" That nigga jumped up. He's like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here."
I don't know, but I still want to see a dead body. That's what I want to see. Until I give real proof confirmation of a dead body, that's what I want to see. And I don't think we're going to get that. Of course, he's going to make his announcement. Wait, what was that? Trump bombing backfires. Uh-oh. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Nope. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Hold on a second. Gotta show it. Got to show the shit. Huh? Oh, let me do this instead. Oh, Jasmine is up. It's still the same. Nothing's changed. She's still up. But we won't know until Monday or Tuesday what the hell's going on.
In that order. And what Trump said when he was pandering for votes and what he's doing now that he actually has power. And there are two camps here. One camp of people who are proving that they stand for nothing other than blind fealty to the God King, and another camp of people who are waking up to that reality. You will be shocked to learn that one of those lists is much longer than the other. Let's start with J.D. Vance, who wrote in 2023, Trump's best foreign policy, not starting any wars, or said this in 2024.
But America's interest is sometimes going to be distinct. Like sometimes we're going to have overlapping interests and sometimes we're going to have distinct interests. And our interest, I think, very much is in not going to war with Iran.
He's such a kiss ass. J.D. Vance is such a kiss ass.
Right. It would be a huge distraction of resources. It would be massively expensive to our country.
And yet today, happily retweeted a picture of himself in the Situation Room starting a war. Back in 2024, Nikki Haley said this.
Because I am confident that his first task will be to do the work to walk us back from the brink of war. We cannot be prosperous unless we are at peace.
But today, Nikki Haley wrote, Operation Epic Fury is a true example of good versus evil. Just months ago, Pete Hegseth said this.
The War Department will not be distracted by democracy building, interventionism, undefined wars, regime change, climate change, woke moralizing, and feckless nation building.
And yet today, Hegseth wrote, the Iranian regime had their chance and refused to make a deal, and now they are suffering the consequences. In 2024, Stephen Miller wrote, Kamala will send your sons to war, and yet today, he giddily retweeted Trump's speech where he said this.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future. And it is a noble mission. We pray for every service member as they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Quote, the lives of American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. Now, where have I heard that one before?
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Ah, that's right. And of course, don't forget it came right from the horse's mouth. This is from 2011.
Unfortunately, we have a president that doesn't know the first thing about negotiation. We have a real problem in the White House. So, I believe that he will attack Iran sometime prior to the election because he thinks that's the only way he can get elected. Isn't it pathetic?
This is from 2012.
You know, I've said before, I think Obama will go to war with Iran because I think he views it as good politically, and that's pretty sad. And
just Obama's ass cracked. Like he got gold in his ass. So, I mean, pause. Like, what is so? I'm trying to think of the word to say when it comes to this nut job in office glazing Obama so much. What is that?
it's a pretty sad thing to have to say, but I think he will absolutely go to war with Iran. I think he views that as a positive from a political standpoint, and I think he's just waiting for the right moment. And I think Iran better be damn careful because they are overplaying their hand just like Gaddafi and just like Saddam Hussein.
And at some point, there's no question, as sure as you're sitting here, unless something else happens first, like somebody wanting to get elected, and the only way he's going to do it is to start a war with Iran. Because I tell you what, if Iran isn't negotiating now, they got to be crazy. Because they are sitting, and I said this the other day, they are sitting on hot timber. They are really crazy if they're not negotiating. And by the way, they do, in my opinion, want to negotiate. But we may have...
Does anybody know what this dude's talking about? It's like he's repeating himself on top, repeating himself. And everything is like, if it's negotiation. What are you talking about? Obama usually, when he was in office, he sat down with them, had his discussion, and bounced out. He didn't sit with there and then just talk all gibber and jabberish all fucking day like he does and shake hands and kiss his babies over there, just like he did in China, just like he done with President Putin, which he wants no smoke from. I wonder why.
Somebody that wants to have war because he doesn't want to accept a negotiation, which could turn out to be much stronger than war, and you could make a much better deal than war, but it may be good politics. So I actually blogged the other day. But I love this twittering and tweeting. I love it because, I'm bigger than the New York Times. I got millions of people. It's like I own the New York Times. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Obama didn't let me keep your doctor. Make that make sense, fam. Make that make sense. Obama came to you and said you cannot keep your doctor. You had to get another one. I had a primary doctor at the time. Kept my doctor and still had to go to urgent care. You go to urgent care, if anything, first. But then again, if your doctor is available, because most times, depending on where you live, because these doctors today, boy, if they have clients, you have to wait a month, and you have to wait a month or 2 months in advance before you get to see your regular doctor. You just do. But who's making excuses? I'm just giving you the facts. Facts over feelings. You have to wait until you can see your actual doctor. And if you can't see your regular doctor, what's the next best thing? Go to a damn clinic. Just go to a fucking clinic. Obama did not get rid of your health care. If you already have health care with somebody, especially at your job, you get to keep it.
That's called the new age. I always wanted to own a newspaper. Now I own a newspaper and it didn't cost me anything. It's unbelievable. So I did say, though, that I predict there's a very good chance that we'll end up in a war with Iran, because I think it's politically possibly a positive for Obama, even though it's not a good thing for our country.
And of course, here are some from 2024.
We don't want to see wars. I don't want to see wars. I was in no wars other than we finished a war with ISIS and we completed it, 100% complete. But I don't want to see wars. I think it's so horrible, so unnecessary. Money in that order. And destroying these countries, you're destroying culture. When you look at Ukraine, that would have never happened if I were president. You look at the October 7th attack on Israel, it would have never happened. I will tell you, you're not going to have a war with me, and you're not going to have a third world war with me. That I can tell you.
With that said, for every 1,000 bootlickers and sycophants whose position changes as the wind blows, there are some folks who are waking up to the reality of what they helped usher in. Like, for example, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who wrote, "We said no more foreign wars, no more regime change. We said it on rally stage after rally stage, speech after speech. Trump, Vance, basically the entire admin campaigned on it and promised to put America first and make America great again. My generation has been let down, abused, and used by our government our entire adult lives, and our children's generation is literally being abandoned. Thousands and thousands of Americans from my generation have been killed and injured in never-ending, pointless foreign wars, and we said no more. But we are freeing the Iranian people, please." But again, let's be clear. She is in the minority, because for every one of her, there are 1,000 people like Cat Turd, who wrote last summer, "There would be no war if Trump was president," and is now writing, "Just watching this," with a bunch of fire emojis, because something, we hate foreign wars. And look, it's hard.
Homeboy thought this was a Republican channel. Not. Homeboy thought, well, let me be fair. Homeboy thought it was the Trump channel. It is not That's not that at all. I mean, if it was any other Republican, I've been like, not been too interested. But since it's Trump, nah, fam. Not a Democrat or a Republican.
Not to recognize the con. Trump campaigned expressly on being the peace president. I mean, hell, this is the FIFA Peace Prize winner that we're talking about after all. They don't just give that prize away to anyone. What's that? Oh, they do give that prize away to anyone. Got it. Well, look, regardless, the hypocrisy could not be more staggering. And let's be clear, the absence of a single long-standing principle with Donald Trump isn't limited to his apparent love for foreign wars. He promised to lower prices, and instead prices are surging. He promised to protect earned benefits, and yet he's gutted Medicaid, weakened Social Security, and cut ACA subsidies. He promised to bring down inflation, and the latest report has inflation now rising, and it's basically at the same point as it was when Biden left office. The Epstein files were supposed to be released, and instead he's engaged in a government-wide cover-up to suppress them. This is a recurring theme for Trump. He will say anything and everything to get elected. His mouthpieces will all put their credibility on the line for him. And then once he has power, he turns around and does the polar opposite, leaving everybody else twisting in the wind. When I say that Donald Trump's sole priority is himself, this is what I mean. When you support a guy who doesn't actually stand for anything, you shouldn't be surprised when he eventually exposes the fact that you don't stand for anything either.
Well, that'll do her. I'm for less government, but what does that mean exactly? It could mean anything. You talking about less government involvement? I heard somebody else said the exact same sentiment. Less government, less involvement. Like Kamala stood for something. What choice do we have? You don't. You don't have a choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. So do whatever which you will. I do want to thank everybody out there supporting the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Support. And go ahead and comment in the comment section if you like the live stream, what questions you have, what questions you don't have. And I will see you on the next video stream, whatever.